sorry. So I was having some technical issues, and for some reason, it won't let me go live from my computer, which I've done 1,000 times in the past. So I don't know why, but I had to hook everything up and then go live on my phone. So that's why I'm late. I'm so sorry. Let me hold on. Goodness. Okay, that's better. All right. So hi everyone. Let me make sure I can see these comments here. Bear with me for just a second. Here we go. Okay, there are the comments. Hi guys. All right, let me see if I can pull it up here. Bear with me for just a second. I promise it's usually a lot smoother than this. Okay. How are you guys? How's your day? How's your weekend been? Had a good weekend? Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it would not let me go live on my computer. That's so strange and slightly frustrating, but all right, so I can see you here. I can see the comments here too, but just in case, I wanted to make sure I didn't run into any issues. I was able to pull it up on my computer. I can see the live chat there. So okay, so we are going to make the most of this. So if I'm looking down a lot, that's why. Just kind of referring back and forth between what I see on the computer and what I see on my phone. My weekend was good, thanks. I spent quite a bit of it working, but then yeah, Shelly, we just decorated for Christmas too. My daughter and I, we actually just finished, and my husband did the outside, and so that was nice. It was nice. We didn't get to put out as much this year as we usually do, just because this year we have a toddler. And so, they destroy everything. So setting up for Christmas was actually a lot easier this year than it is in past years, just because we set up way less. So hold on. I'm going to try to scoot you over here. Da, 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 da. So I have space to put my computer there. Okay. Do we have this? Goodness. YouTube. All right, there we go. That'll work. Busy festive weekend. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. We went to a Christmas festival yesterday. I think the kids enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. All right, so since we're already running behind, we are going to go ahead. We're going to jump right into things. So I'm really excited that you guys decided to do this. So there are a couple things I want to mention, and then we'll get into the readings. So the first thing is that as of right now, this video is semi-private. So what that means is that the only people who are able to access it at all and who are able to join and watch are the people who I've sent the link to, and I've only sent the link to those who purchase tickets. So there should never exceed 20 people in this reading, because there were 20 spots available. You do not have to be present for your reading. So if for some reason you need to go, that's okay. The reading will be saved to my YouTube channel, and you can always come back and rewatch it. I do have the questions or the areas that you wanted me to focus on. I got my whole little list right here of what everyone wanted me to focus on. So I do have that. So like I said, if you have to go, that's okay. No worries. But if you're able to be here, that's even better, because it'll give us a chance when I get to your reading to kind of, talk a little bit. You can let me know how things are making sense, or if they're not making sense, or you're not sure, all those wonderful things. We can just kind of have that moment. So tonight I am going to be going in alphabetical order. I just figured that was the easiest way. That's the way it shows up for me when I was looking over who's scheduled. So that's just the way I wrote everyone's names down. So I'll be going in alphabetical order. Tonight's readings will probably last about a total of 2 hours. Each reading will be somewhere around 5 to 7 minutes-ish. I will do my best to stay as on track as possible. I actually have this super cute little 6-minute timer here. So that'll help me, as long as I can remember to actually flip it, but sometimes I get talking and I don't. But I will be going through. I have your questions here. There were a couple of people that did ask about mediumship. As it was stated in the when you scheduled. This offer does not include mediumship. So if you were asking me to connect to a loved one, I'm not going to be doing that. This is just psychic readings. And so mediumship is where we're talking to loved ones who have passed away. Psychic readings are where we talk about past, present, future, anything really pertaining to your life. So if you did ask for a mediumship reading, if you asked me to connect to one of your loved ones, I will ask you when I come to you if there is a specific question that you want me to focus on. And if you're here, you can let me know. If you're not here and you end up just watching this in the replay, I will do a general card pull for you and a general reading, just kind of whatever spirit draws us to. Shelly, what did you say? Let me see. I didn't send you any questions because I thought it was a psychic reading. Yes, yes, it is a psychic reading. So if you have like a specific area of your life that you want me to focus on, then let me know. So that could be like work, health, if you're going through something specific, you know, just let me know. So that is what we're going to be doing tonight. And then after all of the readings are over, after this live ends, I will go back into the settings and I'm going to make this video public. And that way you can come back, you can watch it anytime. If you did decide that maybe you wanted to share it with any of your friends or your family members, you could do that. So as of right now, while we're live, it'll stay private. And then once it ends, I'll open it up, I'll make it public. And that way it's yours. You could do what you want with it. Which is why when I had you guys filling out the forms, I was like, are you okay with me using your name or do you want to stay anonymous? A lot of you were like, my name is fine. Some of you preferred just your first name. So that is absolutely okay. So what I'm going to do, the way that psychic readings work, for me anyway, you know, every psychic medium, we all kind of work a little differently. But for me, I truthfully just kind of do my best to be a clear vessel for whatever I'm getting. So when I do a psychic reading, I connect to your energy. I also welcome in your spirit guides, and then I use some oracle cards too. We don't need the oracle cards, but I just find that they are a fun visual. So I like to use them. They, of course, add to the message. But the way that I personally work is the information just kind of comes in intuitively. It's almost like a download. I just kind of know the things. And then whatever I'm getting, I give to you. With psychic readings, because we do typically talk a little bit about past, present, future, just please keep in mind there will be some things that make sense right away, and there will probably be some things that just don't make sense right away. And that's okay. It's because it either hasn't happened yet or we're just not putting the pieces together yet. But it'll come together in time. So if there is anything that doesn't make sense right now or you're not sure of it, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it, but don't dismiss it either. Just kind of make a note of it, go on about your life, and trust me, in divine timing, things will definitely come together. Okay, so everything that we get today is meant to serve your highest good, meant to provide some healing, guidance, support, insight, whatever spirit feels that you need. So I'm going to take just a second to kind of move into that space we need to be in, and we'll get started. And like I said, we're going to be going in alphabetical order. So as I'm kind of moving into my space, if you guys have any questions about tonight, go ahead and let me know. And I'll try to address those if there are any, or if you have any as we go, of course, you can ask, okay? Okay. All right, let me grab, let's see. I have all my oracle decks sitting back here. Let me see which ones I think we're going to need to get started. I have a feeling we're going to use this deck, and I have a feeling we're going to use this deck quite a bit too. Okay. It's funny. I have all my oracle cards, right? And spirit will just be like, oh, it's not that deck. It's not that one. So I just kind of go to where I'm drawn. All right. So let me put that there. I need a bigger desk. That's what I need. No, Lauren, I was running late. I had some technical issues, so we are just getting started. So perfect timing. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get into that space, and then we are going to start with Alexandria. Okay. Good energy. Let's bring that in. Okay. All right, good. Okay, so let's flip that timer. And Alexandria, you wanted to focus on relationship. Okay. All right, and Alexandra, if you're here, let me know. And if you're watching it in the replay, you can absolutely still comment if you want to. All right, so as I move into your energy field, I do feel as though you are in a committed relationship, and it feels like, I don't know how long you've been together, but I do feel a pretty solid commitment here. So I would say you've probably been together for some time, or things are at least serious. I don't know if you're married or anything like that. I don't feel like it's a marriage, but I definitely am feeling a commitment. But with the way that this is coming in is I do feel like a lot of lessons have recently been learned, because I keep getting this feeling of like there has been a back and forth pull, but we're overcoming that. Does that make sense? And I feel like that was really truthfully what it's feeling like is, as with any relationship, the first year or even couple years sometimes is often pretty bumpy. Just there's a lot of getting to know each other, and that's kind of what I'm feeling here. And I feel like you two are overcoming that, like you're moving away from that, and into something a bit more stable, something a bit more relaxed. Truthfully is what I'm feeling, a bit more relaxed. Things just kind of feel like they're slowing down. And what I do feel is I feel really good things about the relationship, but for some reason I feel like, how do I want to word this? I feel like at times your mind sort of self-sabotages. Does that make sense? So whether that's you're going back to things from the past, or, you're feeling anxious about something and you're telling yourself a bunch of things, but it's almost like a self-sabotaging that's happening. So before I move into the relationship part of it, I would really encourage you to maybe check in with yourself, especially when things feel tense, or if you're feeling overwhelmed, or you're noticing that maybe you two are bumping heads a little bit, or you're feeling disconnected, because I do feel like it's more of a projection for what's going on in here. So I would encourage you first and foremost to sit with yourself, sit with your emotions, especially in those slightly more tense times, okay? Let me see. So this relationship, I know this is an odd timeline, but Spirit keeps showing me in 13 months. In 13 months, there's going to be like a really big moment where it feels like the universe is going to kind of be like, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Now, it feels like it's going to be a good thing, so please don't think that in 13 months something bad is going to happen. I don't feel that. I feel like in 13 months, you're going to be presented with an opportunity where it's really going to come down to your free will and your choice. What do I want here? And I think that's why right now your self-reflection is so important. That way you can decide and you can feel confident in the decisions that you make without having any sort of questioning, without doubting yourself. But I feel like you two really care about each other. I feel like there's a really good bond. I feel like you balance each other out really well. See, now this is why I love oracle cards, because they always just confirm what we're getting. All right, so the cards that came out for you, you have Magic Stream. This is a manifestation card, which says be aware of what you're putting out there, because the type of energy you're putting out is what you're going to be receiving. You also have Home, which is a card that talks about family, love, priorities, matters of the heart, really focusing on what's important to you. Education, which I absolutely feel is a card that's saying, let's learn from those hardships that I was talking about in the beginning. Let's learn from those experiences. We don't have to repeat them, but we do have to acknowledge what was going on and how we felt, and how we navigated that, so that we can really navigate the future in a very healthy and productive way. Then you have Field of Dreams and Gentle Gardener. Gentle Gardener is a card that says, nurture this relationship and yourself with compassion, with understanding. Try to let go of any judgment. Try to let go of any self-sabotaging. Just be compassionate to yourself. Know that we don't always get it perfect, but as long as we're showing up and we're doing our best to try, that's all that we can do. And then the Field of Dreams is a nurturing card. It says that good things are coming in for you. It's a manifestation card. So everything that we are working towards, everything that you're wanting for this relationship, it is coming into fruition. I do want to be honest with you. I know you're not asking about fertility, but I do see a child, in finding out about a child in roughly about a year. Maybe that's the 13 months. I don't know. But roughly about a year, I am seeing that we find out about a child. Okay, so everything with the relationship feels really good. I think you guys are moving in a really good direction. Like I said, it feels like a good commitment there. It feels like a good bond. Um, I just keep hearing compassion, compassion, compassion. And the best way to show up for your relationship right now is to start showing up for yourself. Okay, so I hope that that makes sense. And I'm sending you lots of love. Thank you so much. Okay, so that was Alexandria. All right, now we're going to do Brittany Flower. Brittany, you wanted to focus on job and living situation. Okay. Okay, Brittany. My windows are open, so if you guys hear like all the airplanes or anything else going on outside, that's why. Okay, so Brittany. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. What just happened? Oh, man. I knocked this down earlier and I didn't realize I broke it until right now when I went to flip it over, and now there is purple sand all over my table. Can you guys see the hole? I don't know if you can see it, it's glass, but there's a little hole there. Now there's purple sand all over my table. Ah, goodness. Okay. It's not my night, I tell you what. I'm blaming the eclipse from last night. Hold on, Brittany. We had another eclipse last night. Oh, I guess we're just gonna take that purple sand and we'll vacuum it up later. Oh, goodness. All right. Let's try this again. Now I'm just gonna have to use my clock to make sure I stay on track here. We'll put that right there. Okay, so all right, Brittany. So as I was moving into the energy here, one thing that was really standing out to me when I'm focused on job is I keep feeling like you are hesitating with a change, but I feel like if you knew that you could be successful with this change and you knew that everything would work out, you would jump on it. But because you don't know how it's going to work out, or there is some uncertain qualities to it, I feel like there's a hesitation there. But before I really get into everything, what I would like you to do is ask yourself, if I knew that I'd be successful no matter what I chose to do here, what would I choose? Like if you knew that you could not fail, that everything would work out better than according to plan, what would you be doing right now? How would you be spending your time? Because I think that answer right there that you just kind of told yourself, that's the that's the answer. But what I keep picking up on is there is this transition going on, because I feel like, I don't know what you do for work, but I feel like with your job, like you give a lot of your time and your energy away, but it's not doing something that makes you feel productive or like you're making a difference. And I feel like you have the type of soul that really needs to feel that way. Otherwise you just feel drained, because there's no energy replenishment going on. You're just giving, giving, giving. Whereas if you're doing something you're passionate about, if you're doing something where you feel like you're making a difference, that you're using your gifts, your qualities, whatever you have to offer to the world, you're using those things, there's this energy return, there's this energy replenishment, because you're enjoying what you're doing. And I just feel like right now that isn't really there. And I just keep feeling, I feel very lost. So I don't know if you're feeling that way, but I'm just feeling very lost, a little overwhelmed, very stuck in your own head. This probably doesn't make sense yet because I don't think it's happened yet, but I just keep hearing, I keep hearing spirit say on the 12th, on the 12th, on the 12th. I don't know what on the 12th is going to bring, but just kind of keep the 12th in mind. Okay. That may be an eye-opening day. Something may happen, some thoughts may pop up, an experience. I don't know the details around it, but I just keep hearing spirit say on the 12th, on the 12th. But it feels like it's going to be a good thing. Whatever it is, feels like it kind of gives you that push to start moving in a different direction, because I do see transition happening for you, where I see, what's that say? Yes, exactly. I feel like I hit a dead end with my job. I'm currently in school trying to finish this course. Good. Okay. So what I feel though is like with this transition that's coming, I think that you're going to kind of lay low for a little bit, but early March. I was going to say late February, but I'm thinking more like early March. It just feels like there's this rush of energy that comes in and you're like, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready. I'm going to do this. And I very much am feeling like this take on the world sort of energy. And I feel like that leads you to a lot of really good things. I don't know what you're doing, what you're interested in doing, but at some point in your career, don't be surprised if teaching becomes a part of what you're doing. Not necessarily in a classroom, unless of course that's what you want to do. I just keep seeing teaching around you. So whether it's like you're training other people, or something along those lines, but I am seeing teaching as somehow being involved in what you're doing in your near future. Like I would say within the year and a half, between 12 and 18 months, I see that arising for you. So, but you know what's interesting? I'm going to pull cards for you, but what's interesting is I feel like around that time in March, when that energy for you comes in, that you're like, you're making decisions, you're making moves, like things feel good for you. Very quickly after that, by June, I see your living situation changing, and I see the living situation changing to where there's a lot more independence. I don't know if currently, wait a minute. Yeah. Are you living with somebody right now who you don't want to live with? Does that make sense? It doesn't necessarily feel like maybe it's anything bad. It feels like you don't have that space, that you don't have that independence that you're looking for, but that's coming for you. I'm definitely seeing that right around June. So be patient. I know that maybe March and June, that sounds so far away, but it's not. It's not. This is a really good time for you to focus on yourself. This is a really good time for you to get your priorities in line, figure out what you do want, what you don't want, what are you willing to settle for, what aren't you willing to settle for, you know, all those things. Well, okay, Spirit, look at them calling you out. All right. So the cards that came out, I want to talk about these two first. We have the Goblins and Heal the Ouch. This is very, very much something that is saying you need to heal your ego. You need to heal your doubts. You need to, I just feel like there's this negative way of thinking, and Spirit is like, we need to heal that before we can really move forward, because that negativity is really blocking those manifestations from coming in. Hold on, I saw you comment. It disappeared on my phone. Where'd it go? No, I live with my husband and kids. We had a house fire in July and we're living in a rental. It's been pretty hard for, okay. So that's where you don't want to live right now, right? I'm assuming you don't want to stay in that rental. Okay. So it's not who you're with, it's where you are. Got it. So yeah, I see that changing though by June. Okay. Definitely by June. So if you're able to take this time to heal that negativity and that negative way of thinking, manifestation, you can very much create your own reality here. Your thoughts have power behind them. So be aware of what you're putting out into the universe and what you're telling yourself. You got the One Ring Circus card, which is a card that focuses on your independence, really finding your footing, really finding yourself during this time. And then the Flying card is success. That's exactly what this means. Total and utter success. So keep working on this course that you're working on. And in the meantime, start acknowledging whatever your ego is feeding you. Start trying to heal that. Replace it with positivity, heal the emotions, be kind, be compassionate to yourself as you do all this. But things are definitely going to change for you. March, there's going to be a momentum that comes in where you're really taking charge. You're kicking down doors and doing things and taking names. And I really feel a good energy in March. And then June, I feel the move. So I hope that makes sense. I'm excited for you. And I don't know how the teaching is going to play a part or play a role, but I do see that in about a year and a half. So just kind of hold on to that. But again, don't overthink it. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. I'm really excited for you. I don't think you're going to stay in that rental. By June, I definitely see you moving out. Okay. So thank you so much. All right, let's go to Delma Chavez. Sorry. Delma. Delma, you wanted to focus on fertility. Okay, Brittany, you're welcome. Okay, Delma. Let's see. Okay, Delma, I am here. Good. There you are. Okay. So, Delma, do you already have 2 children, or have you been pregnant 2 times? Because I am seeing the number 2 around you already. So I'm not sure exactly if you would understand how that makes sense, but I just kind of want to put that out there when I move into your energy field. I keep seeing the number 2 around you. I do see another child coming in for you though, and I see it coming very soon. If I'm being completely honest, I feel like there have been fertility struggles. I also feel like maybe there has been a loss prior to this one, but I do see a healthy pregnancy coming in for you, and I see it coming in soon. Between March and April. Between March and April, I see you finding out that you're pregnant. Also, the number 15 is really standing out. So I don't know how the number 15 is going to make sense yet, but just kind of keep it in mind. It could be a date, it could be a time, it could be a room number for delivery. Like, it could be anything, but I just keep seeing the number 15. You said, yes, I have a son and was pregnant a few years ago, but it was a loss. Okay. So there is another child coming in for you. This one does feel like it's going to be healthy. It's going to be close to full term. I don't think you're going to go the full 40 weeks, but I don't see it as being premature where there are any issues or NICU stay that are needed. But everything around it feels very healthy. The pregnancy feels pretty smooth. I don't know if you'd be considered high risk, but I don't actually see it going like a high risk pregnancy. I see it being very, very easy. Okay. Keep the month of December in mind. I know that we are currently in December. I don't think it's this December. I think it's next December. December, I feel like December may end up being your due date. Or when the child is born. One of the two, due date or when they're born. But I just keep hearing December, 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 but it's not this December. I took in 2 children recently from extended family. Will they permanently live with you? Hold on one second. So the way that this is coming in, Delma, is I see them being with you for quite a while, but I don't feel like it's going to be permanent. I don't know the circumstances around it, but what's interesting to me is the way it's coming in is I keep feeling, I don't know how old these children are, but and I know that the goal would never be to separate them. Goodness. Sorry. I know that the goal would never be to separate them, but I am feeling like it's going to come down to something where one of them may ask to stay, or one of them may decide to stay if they're old enough to make those sort of choices. But it really does feel like it's going to come down to a little bit of free will here. But I do see them being with you for a while, but I don't see it being permanent unless when it comes to that free will moment, they ask and you choose to say yes. Are one of them a little girl? I keep feeling like this little girl really clinging to you. I just keep seeing a girl energy around you. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling with that. Let me see. The month of October may make sense with that situation, okay? Wow. Okay. Yes, she's 12. Yeah. 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 So when the time comes, she may ask if she can stay. And that'll kind of be up to you and her and whoever else is involved to kind of have that conversation. So the cards that came out, we have Sacred Pool, which is a manifestation card. It's a card that is encouraging you to put out your intentions, like whatever you want to happen, put the intentions out there, but then be open to however those things need to show up and manifest. And I think it's for both situations, both with these children and both with the fertility journey as well. Moonlight is another intuition card. Let's trust your heart. Let's trust your intuition. Balancing act. Balance is going to be important in navigating both parts of these aspects of your life. And then peaks of joy. Even when things get hard, take some time to reflect on the good things. Remember that everything in life is temporary. And even if something doesn't go according to plan or something is a bit harder, that when we reflect on the good things and the successes and what has gone the way that we hoped it would, or even better, it kind of gives us that reassurance of, okay, this is hard, but I know that this is temporary, so we're going to be okay. Does that make sense? So that is really what I'm kind of feeling in and around that. So I do see another baby for you. And then I think the things with the children that are with you, that's kind of how I see that playing out, is there may be a separation, but it does feel like that would be like a choice sort of thing. Can I tell the gender of the baby? I just keep hearing boy. Very loudly, I'm hearing boy. So my fingers are crossed for you. I'm sending you lots of baby dust and well wishes. But I think you have a beautiful transition that's going on for you, surrounding kids in all shapes and forms over these next few months. So I hope that that makes sense. And I hope that as time continues, it continues to make sense when all those additional little pieces start to fall into place. So sending you lots of love. Thank you so much. Okay, good. All right, so next is Desiree. Desiree said, will my present circumstances turn out for the better in my favor? Okay, all right, Desiree. You're very welcome, Delma. Okay, Desiree, let's see. Okay, so Desiree, when I move into here, hi, when I move into your energy field, whatever is going on, would you have any idea why I keep seeing my sign for, I keep seeing like legal papers. When I see legal papers, it usually indicates that it's some sort of legal matter or something along those lines. Does that make any sense to you? I don't feel like that's the only thing going on in your life right now. I feel there's a couple other little things trickling, but that is really kind of standing out to me. So I just want to give that to you. If that doesn't make sense yet, it might make sense moving forward. It doesn't feel like anything bad. It's just standing out as something that's going to be a staple point in your life. But as I kind of focus on your energy as a whole, one thing that I keep hearing is be open to the unexpected, because here's what I'm feeling. Custody battle and my son's father is evil. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, so the custody battle is probably why I'm seeing the legal things. Okay, so be open to the unexpected, because the way that this is coming in, Desiree, is I don't feel that it's going to go the way that you're currently envisioning it, but it is going to be something that you're happy with. It is going to work out in a way that is beneficial for everyone involved. Would you understand a September connection? I don't think it's a future September. I think it's past September. Does that make any sense? Would you understand that timeline and why Spirit keeps telling me September? But yeah, I would be open to the unexpected. And this is another one of those situations where we want to put our intentions out there. So ask for what you want to happen, pray for what you want to happen, but be open to the way that Spirit and universe is going to deliver that, because they're going to deliver it in the way that is best for you, for your son, maybe for his father, for anyone else who's involved. They're going to deliver it in a way, they're going to allow it to manifest in a way that's going to serve the well-being of everyone involved. So you just kind of put that intention out there and then trust that Spirit and universe is going to do the rest. And I don't know what, obviously I don't know the details around it, or what you're looking for, what you're hoping for. But I do see that this sort of leads to, I keep seeing you cutting ties, like just just go. Like, and I feel like this is towards his dad, just giving him that permission to be like, just go. Like, we don't need the child support. We don't need anything. Just go. And I feel like the dad will likely take that or move in that direction. I don't see it happening right away. Unfortunately, I do feel like dad is going to just kind of maybe make things a little bit difficult for a little while, but I keep getting drawn to within 2 years. I don't really see dad being part of the picture at all. Let me see. Let me pull some cards. Does his dad also have another child? A daughter, maybe? I keep feeling a daughter energy around him. Yep. Yep. Okay. Let's pull one more. Okay. So the cards that came out. Number 1, you have Ride the Wave. Ride the wave. This is something that says you're not going to know all the details right now. We just have to ride it out. Take it one day at a time. One Ring Circus, focus on your independence. Focus on what you are in control of. Try not to spend too much time worrying, stressing about the things that you're not in control of. You know, that we can't do anything about it. Worrying about it, stressing about it's not going to change anything. So the best that you can do is really put that time, put that energy, put that focus into the things that you are in control of, which is you, right? So spend the time working on those things, focusing on those things, because when you focus on the things you're in control of, that's going to allow you to really manifest what it is that you're wanting and what it is that you're needing more so. Because when you focus on what you're in control of, you're kind of raising your vibration a bit. Whereas when you focus on the things you're not in control of, you're lowering your vibration because you're very ego-based. You also have, I want to save that one for last because that's a good one. You also have Moonlight Card, which says trust your intuition. Your intuition is not going to steer you wrong. Peaks of Joy, focus on the good times. This, again, similar message to what the person before you got is, this is temporary. It's hard right now, but it's not going to last, okay? This is temporary. Focus on the good things. And when things do get hard, reflect on the good things to remind yourself that this is temporary. This is just a moment in time. And then the last card is Come Together. Come together. Things are going to come together in the way they need to. And it feels like things are definitely going to work out in your favor, not necessarily according to the way that you have planned or the way that you're envisioning it right now, but in a way that it needs to. I also do want to say, I feel like April is going to be significant, like mid to late April. I feel like that's going to be significant and really kind of provide a little bit of closure with this whole situation. So be patient with yourself. Focus on what you're in control of. Try to let go of worrying about things that you're not in control of. I know that's easier said than done, but I get a lot of good feelings around what's going on. I don't think you have anything to worry about. And I honestly think, like I said, within 2 years, I think things might become a little bit easier just because I kind of see him removing himself. And I know this isn't any of my business, but I'd be interested in kind of knowing, like, is he involved with his daughter? Because I kind of feel like this is a repeat. Like he's been down this road before, but I just kind of see him transitioning out, which I feel sadly would be more beneficial. So that's kind of what I'm getting. I hope that that makes sense. I hope that it'll continue to make sense as time goes on. But sending you guys lots of love. You'll be okay. Things are definitely going to work out in your favor and in your son's favor. Sorry guys, my allergies are not great today. It's December 5th and it was like 80 degrees today here in Texas. So, okay. So next is, what's that say? He has no relationship with his daughter. Yeah. See? I mean, this is gonna, I very much feel this is gonna end up in the same way. So be patient, okay? All right, thank you so much. All right, so next is Jamie Olson. Jamie, if you're here, let me know. But you wanted to focus on fertility. Okay. All right. Jamie, do you already have a child? Or have you been pregnant once? Because I keep seeing one around you. Okay, so Jamie, I do see a child coming in for you. I'm very much being taken to end of next summer, early fall. And I feel like the month of September, the end of September, right? Yes. I feel like the end of September is going to be a very significant time. I don't know why. I don't know if that's when you're going to find out you're pregnant, or, I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm just like, the end of September feels to be very significant. But I'm just seeing like you finding out you're pregnant sometime end of summer, very, very early fall. So it could be that September timeline. Yes, you have one boy. He's almost 3. Okay. Yeah. So there is another one coming in for you. I do see where I don't see you needing to go like the IVF route, but I do see you working with your doctor, and I'm very much focused on ovulation. So, I don't know if you're not ovulating every month. Sometimes even if we're getting our periods, we're not actually ovulating. So I'm no doctor. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but Spirit just keeps showing me ovulation and working with your doctor. So if you're not already doing that, maybe set up an appointment just to kind of have things checked, just kind of, see what they would suggest there. But I do see you working with your doctor, and then I see you conceiving, and I feel like it's going to be healthy. I don't see that there's going to be any issues. The number 28 is also standing out a lot. Again, it's one of those numbers though where I don't know what it means. So keep the number 28 in mind. Again, it could be something happens, something good, happens around 28 weeks. 28 could be a due date. It could be something with the time, the room number for delivery. I don't know, but I am seeing the number 28. You're getting older, so you do worry. Okay, yeah. I don't think you have anything to worry about. I think everything's going to be just fine. Are you okay with feeling, or me letting you know the gender that I'm feeling? I want to pull some cards here. Yep. I love it. Okay. So I pulled some cards. All right. So the cards that came out here. Number 1, I want to talk about this one. Oh, you said yes, absolutely. Okay. I'm feeling girl. I'm very much feeling girl energy. Strong too. And I know I'm not doing mediumship, but please know that there is a grandmother in spirit, and she keeps telling me her name as the middle name. But I'm not fully tapped into her, but I'll just give that to you because she's kind of feeding that to me. So the cards that came out for you, you have the Crumbling, which says, what are you clinging on to? So for you, I really think that's your doubt. I think that's your fear. I think that's your hesitation. It's the worst case scenario way of thinking, and Spirit wants you to let go of that, okay? Because when you're holding on to thoughts like that, you're lowering your vibration. Mind, body, soul is all connected, right? We all know that. Mind, body, soul is all connected. So if you are living in a very fear-based thing, you could be doing all the right things with your body, but if your vibration is so low, your body isn't going to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. So nurture all aspects of yourself, and I feel like there definitely needs to be a cleanse as far as your ego goes, letting go of that negativity and kind of doing things to raise your vibration. And the best way to raise your vibration is healing, but also doing things that make you feel good, brings you a lot of joy. So that could be anything. The Initiation, which is a card that says you're crossing that threshold, so there's a light at the end of the tunnel. This is all going to work out. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided, which means that your spirit guides, your angels, your loved ones, they're all working very closely with you. You have the Prestige card, which says, how are you being called to step up and lead? This is always a card that really indicates, how are you showing up for yourself during this journey? Okay, so again, kind of going back to the ego and the negativity, is there something that you should be focused on as far as your healing goes? Is there something that you're doing, or a habit, or something? How are you showing up for yourself to nurture all aspects of yourself? And then your last card is Transformation. This is the fertility card for you. This is the pregnancy card. So I do see that happening for you, and I'm very excited. It feels like everything is going to be beautiful. She's going to be beautiful. Whoever this grandmother is, I think she's going to be very connected to this child. So I don't think you have anything to worry about. So if you're not already working with your doctor, give them a call, and just kind of, make an appointment, get things checked. But I do see where they may assist a bit as far as like what I said, as far as ovulation goes, but everything else feels like it'll just be natural. I don't see you having to go IVF or anything like that. Baby, mom, pregnancy, everything feels really healthy. So I'm excited for you. So my fingers are crossed for you. And I'm sending you lots of love during this whole time. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Next is Jasmine Patton. I don't know, Jasmine, if I said your last name wrong. But Jasmine, you said you were interested in, you're welcome, Jamie. Jasmine, you were interested in the future of your breeding program. Do you breed dogs? Is that what you breed? Okay. Here, good. Hi. All right, let's see, Jasmine. What does the number 15 mean to you? Does that mean anything? Or does the number 15 have anything to do with your breeding program or how long you've worked with animals? Or I don't know. I have no idea, but I just keep seeing the number 15. You do breed dogs. Okay. Okay. All right. So let me see here. So the energy in and around this feels really good. I definitely feel like this is something that you are good at. I feel like this is something that it's interesting, and I don't quite know what this means, but this doesn't necessarily feel like something new that you're doing, but there is like a new aspect that I keep picking up on, or like a new transition within this. Does that make any sense to you? But the energy in it and around it feels really good. Like I said, I feel like you're really good at this. I feel like it'll be successful. It already does feel to be successful. Okay. But I also oh, you started with a dog food company and then you've transitioned into this. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Because I'm like, she's been doing something along this. Okay. Have you recently brought in a partner, or are you considering that? Because that's really what I'm seeing is like next step, where next step really feels like we need to hand off some responsibility, or we need someone to kind of do this with. Does that make sense? Because I am feeling like burnout can happen very quickly for you, if it's not already. And I just feel Spirit is really making me feel like there's this teammate sort of coming in, and I feel like they're really good for you, for your business. I feel like you two will balance each other out really well. I do feel like there may be some sort of family connection here. I don't know how, like I don't know. Oh, your fiance is joining you. Okay, there's the family connection. Because I was saying, like, I could feel like there's some sort of family connection here, and I feel like your fiance is going to be wonderful with this. I do want to say, when it comes to like your customer, I don't know if you call them customers or clients, or I don't know. I do have to say, you may be the one that wants to have more interaction on that end of things, where your fiance feels like maybe they would be better with the logistics of it all. I don't know why. Your fiance is probably an absolutely wonderful person. It just feels like you kind of have more of that compassion to kind of relate to people on an emotional level. Does that make sense? And so this does feel really good. I think your fiance joining you is a really good step in the right direction. The month of end of January, so coming up, right? End of January, I do feel like there's going to be a substantial increase in finances that comes in during that time. I don't know how it's going to come in, but I just keep feeling end of January, and I just keep seeing like an increase in your finances coming in. Let me see here. But I feel like, and maybe this makes sense now, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, hold on to it. I feel like you end up using that money that comes in to expand in some way, because I'm really seeing like wherever you're doing this right now, I feel like you're very much outgrowing it or have outgrown it, and I just keep being taken to like some sort of expansion. I don't know I don't know the details around it, but that's what I'm seeing is like money comes in at the end of January, and then you use that money for some type of expansion for your business. First card is details. So pay attention to the little details so that you can kind of fine tune things. Pay attention to your emotions, how things are working out. If you realize that you're hitting a lot of roadblocks, know that that's because the universe is trying to say this isn't the correct path. We need to readjust, okay? When something is supposed to be in your path, it's not that you don't have to work for it, but it's going to come relatively easy. There's not going to be so many speed bumps that you have to overcome. There's not going to be so many obstacles. So just kind of be self-aware so that if you do notice as you do this expansion, this change, that if there are a lot of speed bumps that you start hitting, a lot of roadblocks, a lot of obstacles, that maybe we need to reassess some things and try a different route, okay? You want a new home. I bet that's what it is. I bet that's what it is. Do you do the breeding out of your home? I bet that's what it is. And I bet the new home will actually provide more of a like a better space for that. And if all goes well, we should have a litter at the end of January. Yep. All right, you also have stuck in the mud. Stuck in the mud is just, that's maybe how you're feeling right now. Like we're not really moving forward, but we're not really going backwards. Like we're just kind of at a standstill. You also got the One Ring Circus, which seems to be the card of the day. But that's a card that's really asking you to focus on your independence. Hold on, I dropped one of your other cards. Focus on your independence. And I think this is really focusing on your business. Coming to life. Things are coming together in a really beautiful way, okay? I think you're on the right path. I think things are going to work out beautifully with this. I'm excited for you for the beginning of the year. I do see that money coming in for you at the end of January, and I think you're going to use that, it sounds like, for your house. So everything's going to work out beautifully. When you start looking for houses, I see it happening quick. I would say in under 3 months. So maybe start packing now, but everything feels really good around it. So I am sending you lots of love, and I'm excited for whatever this future brings you. But yes, your breeding program is going to grow and be very, very successful. I see a lot of that in the future. So thank you so much. I hope that makes sense. Okay, next is Kathleen Fitzsimmons. Kathleen, if you're here, let me know. Jasmine, you said what? Is that to the moving? How quickly? Brittany, if we think of questions after our reading, can we ask later on? So Brittany, if you want to ask maybe at the end of this live, that might be okay. I won't be doing any like adding on to after the live is over, but I do want to make sure that everyone gets their time. So at the end, if you do have a question or two, you're welcome to ask then. You're welcome, Jasmine. Okay, Kathleen, am I still financially on track to retire in 2022? How exciting. Okay. All right, Kathleen, let's see. I think you could have retired a couple years ago, if I'm being very honest with you, Kathleen. I don't know how old you are. I don't know the details around it, but I just keep feeling like you probably could have done this or found a way to do this maybe about 3 years ago and been successful then with it too. I do think you're on the right track, but you know what's interesting to me is I see that after retirement happens, I don't see you spending a whole lot of time just slowing down. I still see you having a lot of energy, still continuously doing things or being involved in things. Your energy just kind of feels like it's go, go, go. And I also keep feeling like after retirement, there will be an opportunity or something that you choose to do where I am getting the feeling of like starting your own business, but it feels on a very small scale. So, you know, I don't know, for some people that could be something like starting an Etsy shop or, you know, something like that. Like it feels like starting something in your own spare time, but not necessarily something where you would need like an LLC or anything like that. It feels like something small, but something that still is productive and definitely brings in some income. All right, let me see here. Are you thinking about retiring around August? Because that's what I'm getting. I'm very much getting drawn to August. So, Kathleen, the cards that the cards that came out for you. Okay, let's talk about these two first, okay? The first one is, let's talk about dry desert. Dry desert is a card that really indicates that you're kind of at a standstill in life right now. Kind of similar to the stuck in the mud card is we don't necessarily feel like we're moving backwards, but we don't really feel like we're moving forwards either. We're just kind of there. We're just kind of existent. Maybe life has become very routine, very mundane, something like that. You're just kind of going through the motions. Does that make sense? Then you have Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair is a card that's very much encouraging you. Please do not go backwards. Please do not second guess your decisions. Do not let your ego take over because that is not going to serve you well. Right now, your options are wide open. You could do anything you want to do and you could be successful with it. It really does feel like you're in this moment in your life, Kathleen, where whatever you put your mind to is you're going to be successful with it. So if you put your mind to, I'm not going to be able to do this, well, you'll be successful with that. You won't be able to do it. But if you put your mind to, I can do this, it's time, I'm excited for the next chapter, I'm open to whatever is in store for me, well, you're going to be successful with that too. So, yeah, the universe is very much wide open right now for you. So ask yourself, what do I really want here? What sort of timeline do I want here? What sort of finances do I want? How do I want to feel? How do I want to spend my time? Ask yourself those questions and put those intentions out there. You have the Wizard of Awareness, which is a card that says, pay attention to what is happening around you. Kind of like in the previous reading when I said, when we try to do something and we're hitting a lot of roadblocks, it's because we're not supposed to be doing that. It's the universe saying, hey, reroute. But we're so stubborn. We're like, no, I'm just going to go through this brick wall. I'm going to keep on trying. But if you're self-aware and you're noticing, hey, it just seems like it's one thing after another here. Well, okay, let me take a break. Let me reflect. Let me reassess the situation and maybe let's try to approach it a bit differently. So this is really a card that's encouraging you. Be self-aware so that you can recognize when spirit, when universe is trying to send you a message to help you navigate this, okay? And then I also wanted to pull one card from the other deck, and it's the transformation card, which, you know, this one, transformation. I feel like I don't even need to explain that. This is a transformative time in your life, and I do think you're going to be successful with it. I don't know what the August-September timeline is for you, but just kind of keep that in mind if that doesn't make sense yet. But yeah, I think you're going to be very successful with it. I see a lot of happiness. I see a lot of still busy energy, but in a more busy in a way that you choose how to be busy. Does that make sense? Like a free will busy. Like I can be busy or I could not be busy. It's up to me. But everything around it feels really good. So yes, I do think you're on track to retire in 2022. I think you could have done it a couple years ago, but I think you're going to be successful with it next year. So I'm excited for you. Congratulations and good luck. Okay, perfect. All right, next is Kaylee. Kaylee, if you're here, let me know. So Kaylee Turner. The next year of my life. Okay. All right. So Kaylee, when I move into your energy, the first thing that I keep seeing, is it next year? Truthfully, I can't tell if it's next year or I know we're at the end of this year, but there's something I'm seeing here, and I can't tell if it's this month or it's next year. I can't tell. But what I keep seeing is my sign for accomplishment. I keep seeing like a diploma. Whenever I see a diploma, it could mean an actual graduation, but oftentimes it just means like there's a big accomplishment. There's something that you've been working towards and you're finally about to like graduate, maybe in the literal sense, maybe not. But it's like whatever this is that you've been working towards, this is the time where you're finally like, I've done it. I've like everything I've done, I've been working towards, like, I've done it. Here it is. And I see that for you. So I don't know if it's this month or if it's next year. I don't know why that's not super clear. But I am seeing that for you. And then I also see, okay, I'm seeing a couple different things here. I feel like over the course of this next year, you may struggle quite a bit with anxiety. I do see that being a little bit of a struggle with you. I keep seeing mental health. So your mental health may be something that we just kind of want to stay on top of. So if you're not already talking to a therapist, you might want to, just get in there and see one and make sure that we're checking in with our feelings. We're checking in with our thoughts. It doesn't feel like anything too heavy or too awful. Just something where we want to be aware of it. We want to stay 2 steps ahead of it, as long as possible. But I do see where that may be a little bit of a struggle for you. But you know what it feels like? It feels like you're going into your Saturn return. How old are you? Are you somewhere around 25? Yeah, I don't know how old you are, Kaylee, but usually somewhere around our 25th year, we go into what is called our Saturn return. If you're not familiar with it, I would very much encourage you to look it up. But that's the energy that I'm feeling around you right now. So I feel like your anxiety will probably be relatively high because what's happening is you're going through this shift where the reality you once knew it doesn't have a spot for you in your future. So you have to shed that reality to make space for this new reality to come in. Now, of course, aspects of your reality will still be the same. I'm not saying your whole life is going to be different, but it's more so like internally, the way that you perceive things, the way that you feel things, the way you experience things, the way you express things, all of that is really going to start to be shifting. And so you're going to see that reflected in your relationships, in the way that you see the world, in the way that you react to the world, in the way that you spend your time and your energy and all of those wonderful things. And so next year is a very big year, it feels, for you for growth, which I do think making sure that you're working with a therapist, but maybe also doing any sort of spiritual work or self-care work, like kind of teaming those 2 things up would be really beneficial so that you're nurturing mind, body, and soul, okay? I see where I keep feeling like early summer, you may go through this phase where you feel like you want to just kind of cut people off. Some people, sure, but don't cut everyone off because I feel like it's just kind of a phase that you're in. So if you start to feel that, if you just kind of, you're fed up with people, you want to cut everyone off, kind of disappear, I would encourage you maybe in that moment not to make any decisions while you're emotional. Allow things to kind of simmer down, allow yourself to kind of sit with things, process things, maybe back away for some time, but don't actually sever ties, because I do feel like you're just going to have to sit with things. So we want to make sure that you're making conscious decisions, not emotional decisions. Does that make sense? That way there aren't regrets and there aren't second guessing and things like that happen down the line. But everything around you feels, like I said, like a very big spiritual year, a lot of growth internally is really what I'm seeing. Yep. There it is. Okay, so you have cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So this is a card that really says, you know, when you go through hard things, it's not happening in a way that's meant to mess up your life. It's meant in a way to support you, to teach you things, to help you move into where you're supposed to be for this next chapter. What are you clinging on to? It's a card that says, what in your life is no longer serving you, but you're refusing to let go of it? And why are you refusing to let go of it? Remove anything in your life that is not aligned. What is not aligned or needs to change? So again, it's remove the things that just bring you down. Remove the things that don't feel that they have a space, that don't support you in a very positive, uplifting way. Trust your path. If you knew you'd be supported, what would you choose? And just say yes. So say yes to change. Say yes to being open over the course of the next year. Say yes to yourself is really what I'm feeling, okay? Say yes to yourself. Let go of what other people think you should do, other people's opinions. Let go of fear of judgment. Let go of what you always thought it would be. Like if things start to go differently and you're like, this is not how I envisioned my life, that's okay. That's okay. We are meant to grow. We're meant to evolve, and it's okay for things to change. So that's really what I'm picking up for you, Kaylee. I hope it makes sense. I'm sending you lots of love. Growth is hard. It's uncomfortable, but it's beautiful. So I'm excited for you. So sending you lots of love. Thank you so much for letting me connect with you. All right, so that was Kaylee. Next is Kim. Kim, I don't know how to say your last name, so Kim R. Kim, you asked, will Frankie and I be together? Okay. Okay, so Kim, the energy here. Are you and Frankie already together? But would you understand why I feel like a, I don't know if separation is the right term, but there's like a distance. Does that make any sense to you? So I don't know if you're already together and things are just rough, or I don't know. I don't know how that makes sense, but I keep seeing like there's already some sort of bond here. There's already some sort of connection. But then I'm seeing this distance, okay? So it's like maybe something's in the way, maybe something's preventing this. We're not on the same page. There's something like that. So something along those lines. It's hard to explain. What's this say? Oh wait, it disappeared. No. Oh, yes. We tried, but things happened. We gave up on it. Ah, okay. Okay. So that makes sense. That's what I'm feeling. All right, so moving forward, is this a pattern for you guys? Because I keep seeing it as a pattern. Yeah, it is. It's coming in as like it's coming in as a pattern. Okay. Next year, I still see you being involved in one another's lives. Relationships are a tricky thing because there's free will. And it's not just your free will, it's his free will as well. So that, of course, can always alter anything. But what I'm picking up on right now, right this very moment, is within the next year, I do see you still being involved in each other's lives. However, I'm not seeing a full-on commitment. I'm still feeling kind of like this back and forth tug going on between the two of you. And cards, you don't have to throw them at me, Spirit. And I feel like for you, this kind of takes a lot more of a toll on you emotionally than it does on him. I'm not saying he's not being impacted. He doesn't have feelings. Of course he does. But I just feel like you feel it deeper. Does that make sense? So next year, I'm not seeing a commitment, but I am seeing where you're still involved in one another's lives. Now, I think how you're involved, that's going to come down to free will and the two of you. I keep seeing I do feel like around July, I feel like there's going to be, things are going to feel pretty tense. But I keep feeling like they feel really tense because you have finally just like I don't want to say like you let him have it, but I feel like you let him have it. Like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I feel like you finally just kind of lose it. And things become kind of tense. And when I try to see what happens after that, it is very, very much just blacked out. So when spirit kind of blacks things like that out for me, it means that this is one of those things where nothing is predetermined. This is very much one of those things where it will very much completely 110% come down to free will. So I don't know what it's going to look like after January, or I'm sorry, July. But I do see in July, I just kind of feel like things become tense. And I feel like it's because you finally just, you kind of set boundaries. I think that's the easiest way for me to put it. You set boundaries. Okay. Okay, so the cards that came out, first one is dry desert, which I think that's kind of indicating where you're at right now, is you're just kind of existing in this weird space. You don't know, are you moving forward? Are you moving backwards? You're just kind of going through the motions, just kind of existing. Does that make sense? But then I have One Ring Circus. If this card comes out one more time, there are 52 cards in this deck. But you have One Ring Circus, which is a card that is really encouraging you to focus on your independence. Okay, so when you're talking about this relationship or, this situation, take him out of it for a minute and just ask yourself, what do you want from a relationship? And then once you figure out what do you want from a relationship, you're able to say, does he fulfill those things? And if he doesn't, how do I need to make some changes here? Or where do I need to make some changes? But really just using this time right now to focus on you is what I'm getting. You have the encouragement card, which I think is a card that is encouraging you to just be kind to yourself, be compassionate with yourself, and speak your mind, speak your truth. You're being encouraged by spirit, by your loved ones, by your guides, by your angels and spirit to really show up for yourself right now. Golden Palace is a card that says if you're open to it, you can really manifest what your heart desires. Remember that our manifestations don't always come about in the way that we think they will. They come in the way that they need to serve our highest good. But you have Flying, which is a card that says you're going to be successful. Things are going to be okay. So unfortunately, I can't give you a direct answer whether I feel that you guys are yes going to be get together or no, you're not. I do feel like you'll still be involved in one another's lives. But July just feels like it's that moment where something turns, something happens. And after that, spirit just completely blocks me off. It just goes black. So that will very much come down to a free will moment. So I wish I could give you a more like concrete answer there, but I can't. So for now, I would very much just encourage you to do what Spirit is kind of shown us already, is focus on yourself, ask yourself, what do you really want? Focus on your self-worth, and kind of just let things play out the way that they need to right now. But I think that whatever is currently going on is going to continue for a few more months. So as it stands right now, I do not see you together committed, but I do see you still in each other's lives. So that's kind of what I'm getting. And then unfortunately, that's all that Spirit will really show me. Like I said, after July, they don't show me anything because it's free will. So I hope that makes as much sense as it can. So I'm sending you lots of love. I think your self-worth is really worth focusing on right now. So I'm sending you love. I want to thank you for letting me connect, and I'm wishing you the best. Okay, be kind, be patient be kind, be compassionate, be patient with yourself. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, all right. Thank you, Kim. Okay, so next is Lauren B. Lauren, so if you're here, let me know. You're welcome, Kim. Lauren, you wanted to focus on fertility. Okay. 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 Oh, there you are. Okay. Hi. Sorry, there was like pieces of information coming and I was just trying to like connect the dots here. So, Lauren, what I see coming in for you, I know that you have gone through a lot when it comes to fertility because I know you and I have talked before. So, I don't remember all the details around kind of what we've said before, but I know that you've gone through a lot. And what is coming up here is I do see a child coming in for you. Let me know if you're open to the gender that I'm feeling. But I do see a child coming in for you, but I don't see them coming in the way that you're expecting them to. What's that say? I had a mini reading done with you less than a month ago, so I'm curious to see if they're similar. My energy hasn't changed at all. Okay. Okay. So I don't see them coming in the way that you're expecting. I see them coming in a more unexpected way. The energy around this is very, very interesting because what I feel is hold on. Okay, so you have a lot of different factors at play right now. And I think that's why it's taking me a minute to put it all together. So I'm just going to give you what I'm feeling. Some of it may make sense right now and some of it won't. But just kind of hold on to it, but don't overthink it, okay? So I do see a conception for you. I do see a conception for you. I'm kind of taken to spring. I can't quite pinpoint the month, but I am taken to spring where I do see a conception. But things with that conception seem foggy, and I don't know why. I don't know why it seems foggy. Sometimes there's a lot of different reasons why something could come in as foggy. A lot of times it does come down to like a free will thing. But I do see a conception, and I'm taken to right around spring, like early spring, I think. But I'm also seeing a child coming in for you from a different form, not a child that you give birth to. This feels, yeah, not a child that you give birth to. Now, whether this is adoption, which is kind of what I'm being drawn to here, is kind of what I see coming in. But I keep seeing that before that can happen, there is an idealization that we have to let go of. So Spirit is making me feel like you very much kind of have the blinders on of this is how it's going to work out. I'm just going to keep going until this works out this way. And Spirit is like, there's a different road for you. There's different experiences for you, and they're really trying to open you up to that. But it just feels like you're like, nope, not going to look at anything that could be out here. I'm going to stay focused, which a lot of us do that, right? We have an idea in mind and we're going to achieve it. We're going to keep doing what we have to do till we reach that goal. But I would encourage you to be open to something different, okay? I would encourage you to be open to something that maybe you didn't initially envision as the way that you would have a child or bring a child into the world, okay? Because Spirit is very much making me feel like there will be a conception early spring. But at the same time, we also want to be open to the fact that I do feel at some point in your journey, adoption will be a part of it as long as you open yourself up to that, okay? And I'm being taken to around the same timeline. I'm being taken to right around the same timeline where there's a conception and then there's something when it comes to fertility, or I'm sorry, adoption. you know, there's so many, I just saw you said we don't have money for adoption. There's so many different avenues for adoption, foster care, which is basically free. You know, there's all these different forms and ways. And so adoption doesn't have to be $50,000. You know, there are other ways to do it, but I think they're coming down to the same timeline. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work out right now, but just kind of keep it in mind as I feel like if you can let go of, I have to have a baby this way, I have to give birth to a baby. If you can let go of that, I feel like that's going to remove such a big blockage to where you will actually be able to give birth to a child, but I still see that adoption playing a role somehow. So maybe these two things are going to come in around the same time. It happens all the time. Maybe these two things are going to come in around the same time, but before we can really have any sort of child coming into this world, the very first thing that Spirit is showing me is we have to let go of the idealization of what the plan is, because it's not going to go according to plan. And as long as you're holding on to that plan, it's just going to be continuously hitting roadblock after roadblock, hardship after hardship, because you're not being open to what the life lesson is within this aspect of your life. Does that make sense? Let me pull up your comments here because I saw you commenting, but I didn't want to lose my train of thought. Okay, you said, okay, could that mean IUI? You said February, March conception timeframe in your mini reading, and girl, yeah, early spring. Yep. So do you feel the conception is in early spring would be another miscarriage? I'm confused. Conception in early spring, but also adoption. Yeah, so I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know if that conception is going to be miscarriage or child, simply because it's foggy. They show me conception and then it gets very, very foggy. And the takeaway that I would have from that is you're not supposed to know right now. Everything within your energy field right now, Spirit just keeps showing me, we have to take the blinders off. We have to take the blinders off. We have to be open to experiencing life as it comes and trying to learn from these experiences, trying to not just learn, okay, what was I supposed to do, or what should I have done differently, or not that. It's, what am I learning on a deeper level here? What is this experiencing showing me? What is this experience showing me about life, about myself? Really just trying to unblock those deeper aspects of life, because it very much does feel like Spirit is like trying to put up this wall and say, right now is not the time, or this is not the way that it's going to work. And we're just kind of like, no, 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 no. I'm going to make it happen anyway. And Spirit's like, okay. So I do see conception for you happening around early spring. I don't know if that's how that's going to move on. I don't know if that's going to be miscarriage or, you know, a child that we end up bringing into the world. I just don't know, but I see conception around early spring. But again, I still really see this adoption aspect somehow coming in right around the same time. Okay. So, you know, it's one of those things where we're just going to have to kind of live life and see what happens around that time frame. Break the chain. That's your first card. This, and it literally says right on the card, it's time to rewrite your future. Okay, rewrite your future, which I think is letting go of the blinders, allowing things to happen differently than you're envisioning them. Have you answered your deepest calling, which is have you acknowledged what's going on internally? Are you really listening to yourself and what your soul is trying to say? Play, have fun, don't take things so seriously. And trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? That's an intuition card. What is your intuition trying to tell you? Again, it's what is your soul trying to say? So take some time, quiet the mind, sit with things. I have calmed down a lot in the last month talking to you. I've meditated more this month, letting go of stresses. Good. Good. So it's hard when we have an idea of how life is going to happen and then it doesn't happen that way. Or it takes us down a very windy road before we get there. But everything is coming down to lessons in your reading. So I do see conception in early spring for you. Unfortunately, I don't know how it's going to end up. It's just foggy. But I also see adoption somehow coming into your life around that same time. So keep an open mind. That's the best advice I can give to you. But there is, I will say there's children out there for you. And however they're meant to come in, they're going to find their way to you exactly when the time is right. Is it weird that in the mini reading said spring, early conception, healthy pregnancy, but it's changed? I trust you, but it was less than a month ago. Yeah, no, I'm basically still feeling that same thing. Conception, early spring. Yeah, conception, early spring. I just don't see how the pregnancy is going to play out. So just kind of have to ride it out and hope for the best. But take it one day at a time. I think that internal healing is definitely something that Spirit wants you to be focused on right now. Okay, so I'm sending you lots of love. You're welcome. Okay, so next is Megan. Megan, you said, what areas of myself should I focus on for self-improvement? Okay, Megan, we're going to use this deck for you. All right. Sorry, I can't get comfortable. I'm like wiggling all around here. All right, Megan, what areas should I focus on for self-improvement? Okay, so Megan, Megan Young, you are next. This is different Megan. So what areas of your life should you focus on for self-improvement? One thing that's really standing out to me with you, Megan, is I feel like you're very creative. I feel like you have a very unique way of looking at the world. And I just keep hearing Spirit say, we want to see more of that. We want to see more of that. So maybe your creativity or maybe your self-expression. Okay. I definitely think that that is something that should be focused on right now. So, you know, creativity can come out in so many different forms. And I don't know what your favorite form of creativity is or self-expression is, but that is definitely one area where I think we should spend a little bit of time and attention on allowing yourself to just express your feelings, express how you see things, express your opinions, you know, all of these different ways, but just to kind of show up as your most authentic self, because I do feel like, I don't know if you're the oldest sibling, but I keep getting that energy from you, where I just feel like you've always kind of carried around the stress of those that you care about, and you've kind of put yourself on the back burner. And I feel like you're moving into this phase of life where you don't have to do that anymore. Now, if you choose to do that, of course, that'll continue. But I really feel like you're at a phase of life right now where you can be like, okay, I can love you and I can support you, but that doesn't mean I have to carry around the weight of the world for you. It doesn't mean that I have to jeopardize my own happiness or my own boundaries. You know what I mean? I feel like you're really starting to find your voice a little bit more there. Let's see, I want to pull a couple cards for that. You know, and this is why I love Oracle cards. Okay, hold on, this one's upside down. There we go. So we have, remember to practice self-love, that's very much, you know, self-expression, self-love, all of these things. Remember to practice self-love. Then you have, don't doubt your worth. And right there, can you see it says, I am enough. Don't doubt your worth. So again, that's your self-love. Now, these three cards I find super interesting. You have let them go, forgive, swim away from this situation. So Megan, I feel like there is maybe a narcissist that you're dealing with. I feel like you've been dealing with them for quite some time. And I think this is part of your boundary setting. I think this is part of your standing up for yourself and saying, you know what, this isn't mine to carry. I love you, I'll support you, but I'm from way over here. So I definitely feel like that is an area where we want to work. We want to spend some time focusing on working on developing that stronger voice, developing that that stronger sense of self-worth, okay? I also very much feel like there is this need within you to break routine. I feel like you've become very bored with your day-to-day. And while routine is important, it's also important to have spontaneous moments in there and moments where we break routine. And I feel like there's this part of you that is like, I want that so badly. I want that greater sense of freedom, but I don't know how to do that. Does that make sense? Or I'm not able to do that. Like there's some sort of hesitation. There's an excuse as to why you can't do that. But I do feel like kind of bringing that joy back into your life, creating that sense of reality, is also something that Spirit wants you to focus on right now. Remembering that you're in control of yourself. You may not be in control of all the other people and situations around you, but you're in control of you. So that means that you're in control of your own reality. So what do you want your reality to look like? Let's create that, okay? You got to let it go again, or let them go again. So whoever this person is, you got to move away from them. You got to either cut them off completely, set some strict boundaries. There's something there. You can be your own knight, which is the card that says you don't need anyone else to rescue you. Stop waiting around for other people. Start showing up for you to create that reality that you want. Don't be afraid to sing is a card that says don't be afraid to share your voice, self-expression. You never needed those wings to fly. So that whoever that person is, when you cut ties with them or you set the boundaries, you create that distance, you're gonna feel more free than you ever have. Even though I know maybe right now you feel like that's not possible. There's a lot of good waiting for you on the other side of this. And then the last card is it's time for healing, not war. So healing, I mean, that's 100% what that card is. So that's what I'm getting. I think the focus is really on you right now for your self-improvement. It's your inner voice. It's your own healing. It's your own self-worth. It's your own boundary setting. What are boundaries that you'll set for other people, but also boundaries that you set for yourself. So that's what I'm getting. I hope that makes sense. I do think the next 6 months are going to be very transformative for you. I feel like the first half of the 6 months, kind of slow go, pretty emotional, maybe quite a bit of anger and heartache as well. But then the second half of those 6 months, like I just feel this fire inside of you that feels beautiful. So I'm very excited for you to pull that part out of yourself and just start bringing that joy back into your life intentionally. So I hope that that makes sense, Megan. Thank you. Okay, Megan Young, now it's your turn. Megan Young, you wanted to focus on family and home life. Okay. It's funny because since I have this computer up here, you know, since everything that happened, I can see myself, but I can see the delay. Okay, there's Megan. All right. Family and home life. Okay. Okay. Megan, what does the number 3 mean to you when it comes to your family? Does that make any sense? I focus on family energy around you and I just keep seeing the number 3. Okay. Okay. Megan, are you married? Because, and here's why I ask, because I keep seeing I keep seeing my symbol for like conjoined rings. And when I see conjoined rings, that typically indicates like a marriage, an anniversary, something along those lines. What's that say? I have 2 sisters, so that makes 3. And I also have a daughter and I'm pregnant with twins, so I'll have 3 kids. Okay, that's what I think it is, your kids. Okay. And yes, you're married. Okay. Do you know if there is something with when I was seeing this, what I kept hearing is renewing vows. I don't know how long you've been married, but are you guys talking about that? Or is there, maybe that'll be something that kind of shows up for you this year? Well, I guess technically next year, but I just keep seeing the conjoined rings, and I keep hearing renew vows, renew vows, renew vows. So I'll just give that to you. If it makes sense, great. If it doesn't yet, that's okay. Just hold on to it. Okay. What would you understand? Would you understand making spirit making me feel like there's a mother figure that there's a mother figure where there needs to be some healing, some things that need to be acknowledged. Does that make sense? I don't know if it's your mom, your partner's mom. I don't know, but I'm just getting like a mother figure, and I really feel like this person can sometimes create a wedge where they don't need to be creating wedges. And I just feel like there is this sense of healing, and that will likely be something that kind of comes to a point, probably just after the holidays. Truthfully, it feels like it's coming up soon. So there may be something that happens, or, you know, we're stressed and just kind of, we explode a little bit, and things just kind of come to a head. It feels like probably January, just like I said, I'm just feeling right after the holidays. But you know what? The way this is coming in is, I do want to say, don't move away from that situation. Don't say, you know what, I don't want to upset anybody, I want to avoid confrontation, and just kind of sweep things under the rug. I don't think that's what needs to be done here, because I feel like that's kind of already what happens. Instead, I think we need to try to find a productive way to kind of maturely handle the situation. And I do feel like boundaries will need to be set, and there may be some feelings that are hurt, but I just keep hearing they'll get over it, they'll get over it, they'll get over it. So things will be okay. Like, there will be a mending. There may just be a period of time where some feelings got hurt and things may feel a little awkward or a little tense for a little bit, but it'll pass. You guys will find that groove again, but it feels like in a better way. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. And you haven't talked about the marriage vows yet. That's okay. Hold on to it. I think it may make sense as time goes on this year. Okay. Are you guys, are you doing some sort of like home renovations? Because I'm not necessarily seeing you moving, but I am seeing moving boxes. So when I see moving boxes, it can indicate that somebody's moving, but it can also indicate that there are a lot of changes happening within the home, like physical changes within the home. And that's kind of what I'm getting drawn to with you. So I don't know if you guys are doing a lot of renovations, moving rooms around, something like that, but I am seeing moving boxes. I do have to say, like, please do not overexert yourself, because I feel like you are. What's that say? We just bought a house, getting some things done to the house before fully moving in. Congratulations. Don't overexert yourself, but I feel like you're already doing that. But Spirit is like, slow down. It's okay. They make me feel like you are a little bit of a perfectionist, in the best way, a little bit of a control freak. So with so much going on, maybe it's around the holidays and with being pregnant and everything else that's going on, it may just be like overload, but slow things down. Remember, not everything has to be perfect. That's okay. It's never going to be perfect. You have a lot going on right now, and Spirit is really just encouraging you to listen to your body, listen to your soul, and when you feel like you need to rest, rest. And, you know, don't just take a nap, like really rest, release the stress, release the overthinking, do a meditation, you know, do something to really rest when you feel like you need to rest. Your family unit feels good. Your family unit feels solid. Kids feel healthy. Spouse feels good. You feel good. Like, everything there feels really strong. I don't really see a whole lot of changes going on right there. I feel like you two balance each other out well. I feel like you communicate well. And I know you said you've only been married 3 years, but I feel like you've been together, or you've at least been in each other's lives for quite a while longer. Because it feels like there is a deep bonded friendship there that goes beyond just, you know, husband and wife, or whatever. Let me see. Also, I don't know why, I don't know how this is going to make sense, but I do keep hearing that around summer. So I'm getting like June, something like that. Do you work outside of the home, or would you understand why I keep getting this pull to like, I keep seeing this image of like a home daycare. I don't know why. I don't know if that's something you want to do or if that's going to make sense in some other way, but I just keep getting this image and I keep seeing a sign that says home daycare. I don't know what that means, but however that's going to make sense, I am getting taken to like early summer, like June. Okay, good. All right, so the cards that came out for you, what's that say? You're not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one either, but hold on to it. Don't overthink it. It'll come together however it's supposed to. But something about a home daycare in June. I don't know. So the cards that came out for you. Okay. First one, break the chain. We're rewriting the future. So I think this has to do with a lot of different things. Number one, changing the dynamics in the relationship with that mother figure. But also, I feel like this is like a family dynamic. Like you're creating a different family dynamic than what you had or your spouse had. Like you are breaking those cycles. Does that make sense? You also have seeding the light, stay grounded. There's a divine plan for everything. So I think that's the stress relating. We don't need to overthink. We don't need to worry because there is a divine plan. Doesn't matter how much we try to be in control, it's not going to go according to plan. So we just kind of have to let go a little bit, loosen up a little bit, and go with the flow. Listen to our body. Okay. Your vibration is rising. Again, this is like a healing card. It's a card that says you're stepping more into your most authentic self during this time. And I feel like that's as your family too. And I think the move is part of this. The move, correct me if I'm wrong, but the move happened pretty smoothly, right? Were you able to get the house pretty easily? Things happened or things fell into place pretty quickly. And I feel like it happened that way because it was aligned. Do you know what I mean? You have longing for home. So it's longing for that sense of being, longing for that sense of connection, which I feel you're finding. Things are finally falling into place. And then you've been training for this for lifetimes, which says you are a lot stronger than you think. You're capable of handling all the things that life is going to throw at you, the good, the bad, the easy, the hard. Like you're capable of handling all of these things as long as you're listening to yourself. But family feels good. Living situation feels really good. I see all of that continuing to move pretty smoothly. I feel like February will be something when it comes to that house or when it comes to the move. But whatever it is in February, it feels very solid. And I just keep feeling like I can finally take a breath. So whatever happens in February when it comes to the house or the move, I think that is going to very much bring a feeling of relief. So deep breaths. I feel all good things. I'm very excited for you. Congratulations on the babies. And when it comes to that mother figure, I think just, focus on navigating that in an authentic and true way. Don't suppress anything there. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much. Okay, good. So next is Melissa. So Melissa, if you're here, let me know. Megan, you're welcome. Melissa, you wanted to focus on work or family. Okay. Okay. Melissa, I don't know what you do for work, but do you by chance work in the medical field, or would you understand why I keep seeing medical cross around you? Typically, when I see a medical cross, it means that you work in the medical field or you want to work in the medical field. But I am seeing that for you, so I'll just kind of give that to you and let me know if that makes sense. But when it comes to work, I feel like you are content with where you're at or what you're doing, but I feel like it's not where you want to stay or you want to be. Does that make sense? Like I feel like there is growth on the horizon, and there's like this part of you that is like, okay, I'm ready. But it's like the stars have just not aligned yet for that growth to necessarily happen. Does that make sense? Oh, you said hello, I'm here. Okay, good. Hi. I think there's a little bit of a delay in the comments. Okay. So I'm also seeing textbooks. When I see textbooks, it's my sign that maybe you are thinking about going back to school. Maybe you're thinking about doing some sort of furthering your education, on job training, something like that. Just like building your knowledge. Does that make sense? I take care of my mom. You're not currently working. Okay. Okay. Maybe the medical cross is why I saw, or you taking care of your mom is why I saw the medical cross. Okay. Are you wanting to get back into work? Like you can feel that, but like I said, the stars haven't aligned yet for that to necessarily happen, because I do feel like there's the want for the change. It hasn't happened yet. Does that make sense? But however this furthering your education is coming about, like I said, whether that's you're going back to school, whether that's you're just thinking about maybe taking a course, or, reading books, or however it is that you are thinking about furthering your education somehow, like expanding your knowledge. I would very much encourage you to explore that, because I think, and I see that kind of coming about for you more so in January, if it's not already present. But I think that would be so good for you. I feel like it would open up so many doors and so many opportunities, and just kind of give you this sense of purpose in a way. Does that make sense? Like caring for your mom is definitely that's so important, but I still feel like there's this feeling of like, but what's my purpose? Like what am I supposed to be doing? Do you know what I mean? And I feel like whatever this furthering your education is, however you choose to do that, that's going to start to fulfill that for you a little bit. Oh, you said it feels like something's missing. Yeah, this is probably what it is. Or a part of it, not all of it, of course, a part of it. When we give so much of our time and energy away, especially if we're someone's caretaker, and then we have all the other, busyness of life going on, we do tend to lose ourselves, and then we feel like something's missing. But I am, like I said, I am seeing some sort of furthering your education coming in for you in July. No, January. It's one of the J months. It's January. And that feels like a really good move in a really good direction. Also, I don't know if you're interested in photography, or if you've thought about that before, but I just keep seeing that with you. That might be something that you're really naturally good at. Maybe explore that if that's something that kind of crosses your mind. Let me see. Oh, card that fell out for you is Awakening. A new way of being, integration. The awakening is definitely something that we experience as we begin to step into our purpose, begin to step into our meaning. You're not alone. Your ancient ancestors work beside you. So again, that's sort of an awakening card. Spirit is working with you. Your energy is very much of that caretaker providing a service. So I would not be surprised if, when you further your education, or if you choose to go back to work, or whatever you choose to do with your life, I would not be surprised if you end up providing some sort of compassionate service to others. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the medical field. It could be and like what I do is providing a compassionate service to others. It's a type of healing. It's something that helps people to feel more connected to themselves, or to feel better, whether that's mind, body, or soul. I feel like whatever you choose to do, you'll be doing that too. Does that make sense? However you choose to do it. But I feel like there will be a service that you're providing that helps people to feel better about themselves in some way. You said, wow, photography is something I used to be big into. See, maybe explore that too, get back into that a little bit. I do. I feel like you're really good at it. Trust your path. If you knew you'd be supported, what would you choose? So when we think about our purpose, I think we tend to make it a bit more complicated than it needs to be. Sometimes we have more than one purpose, and sometimes our purpose could be very small. It could be smiling at strangers. It could be being a good listener. It could be, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be this grand thing. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a multitude of different things. But focus on, instead of what your purpose is, ask yourself what brings you joy, and start following that. What brings you joy? What makes you feel good? do that, because that will lead you to one of your purposes. Your joy will bring you purpose. And a lot of times our purpose is something that comes so natural to us. We don't recognize it as a gift. It's just part of who we are. So if you are someone where people always come to you to talk about their problems, it's part of your purpose. If you are someone that when someone is ill, they just come to you, oh my gosh, what do you think I should do? Oh, that's part of your purpose, right? So what brings you joy? What are you naturally good at? And start focusing on that. But I really do think January, this starts to turn for you. I think January, you start to put more time and energy into yourself. And very much by March, I see that you're fully invested in something that is solely for you, that you enjoy. Now, what that exactly that's going to be, I don't know. But I do see March, you are fully invested into doing something specifically for you, something that brings you joy. And I do see that ending up and bringing you in income, not right away, but I would say by end of summer, you're using that as kind of a stepping stone to start bringing in a little bit of income here and there. It doesn't feel like anything too consistent, at least not right away. But that's what I'm getting. I think you're really moving in the right direction. There's going to be a lot of self-discovery going on for you next year. So whatever sort of falls into your lap or crosses your path in January, if it sparks an interest, allow yourself some time to explore it. Okay. So that is what I'm getting. I hope it makes sense. I hope it continues to make sense. But I think next year will be a really big year for growth for you. So I'm very excited to see where that takes you. Okay, good. All right. So next, who do we have? Next, we have Misty Hildebrandt. Misty, if I butchered your last name, I'm very sorry. Misty, you said relationship, a partner, where am I headed in this area of my life? Okay. All right, Misty, so if you're here, let me know. And I know we're a little bit over time, but I think that that's because I had the technical issues and we didn't get started till about 25 minutes later. Okay, so you're welcome. Okay, Misty. Misty, I feel like when it comes to relationships, you have absolutely endured a lot of hardship. I feel like let me just put it this way. Your past when it comes to love does not feel that it has been all sunshines and rainbows. I feel like there have definitely been some hard lessons to learn, but I feel like you've learned them. You now know what you want and what you don't want. I feel like you really have a good sense now of what you're willing to settle for, what you're not willing to settle for. I feel like you're a lot more self-aware now too. So going into relationships will look differently than it did in the past because you are so self-aware now, which is a good thing. We want to be self-aware. Okay. So I don't feel like there's currently someone in your life, but I do see somebody coming in for you. Roughly about 6 months from now, six to 7 months, I see someone coming in for you, and this person feels like they are not anything like any of your past relationships. I feel like they very much take you by surprise, and I actually feel like because they're so different than your past relationships, you sort of hesitate. You're like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know, but if you can be open-minded, this person will be really, really good for you. Okay. Okay. I feel like you may actually meet this person online somehow. I don't know if that'll be through like an online dating or through social media. I don't know. But I do feel like the either the meeting or the initial interactions will be done online. But this person feels like they'll be really good for you. I feel like you'll be good for them. I do feel like there will already be a daughter involved somehow. I don't know if that's on your end or their end. But I just keep feeling like there will be a daughter that is already sort of existing. I don't feel like she's super young, so I don't think it's, going to be anything where I don't see a lot of drama coming along with it. Let me just put it that way. I feel like there will be a daughter, but I don't think it's going to bring any sort of additional heaviness or struggle into the relationship. If anything, I think it'll just be an added bonus. Okay. And when this person comes into your life, don't be surprised if things fall in together very, very quickly. And the reason for this is not your first lifetime with this person, okay? You have crossed paths in many different lifetimes. So while in this lifetime, you feel like you're just getting to know each other, your souls already know each other, which is why things are just going to start to fall into place. So if they are falling into place very quickly and everyone's like, you're moving too fast, but to you, it feels natural and it feels right, trust yourself. Don't let other people talk you out of it, okay? Now, if it's moving too fast and you're like, whoa, this is too fast, that's okay. But I don't think you're going to be like that. I think the way that this is feeling is it's going to come in, it's going to happen fast, and you're going to be absolutely on board with that. And it is 100% because your souls already know each other. So the human you is still getting to know one another, but the soul you very much already knows each other on a deep level. So there isn't that whole, we got to get to know each other thing. I do feel like this person will likely have some sort of connection to, it's either the number 10 or the month of October. I don't know which one. So it could be a birth date. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be, but just kind of keep the number 10 in mind. Okay. Which deck is it? It's this one. Okay. Yeah, this person feels good for you. I think you're moving in the right direction with them, for yourself. I think you're moving in the right direction for yourself. I think you have done a lot of healing. I think you've done a lot of growth. And I think now you are really able to, again, be self-aware so that you're acknowledging how you're navigating things. Because I do feel like in the past, you've lost yourself when it comes to relationships. You're not going to do that this time. This time, it definitely feels like there's going to be like a molding that comes together between the two of you that just feels really healthy. Your first card is Talesman. I love this card for you so much because the Talesman card says, you know, let's use your past experiences to help you navigate your future. So we don't want to repeat our past experiences, but we do want to learn from them so that we can use them to navigate the future, right? And again, it kind of goes back to like, you now know what you like, what you don't like, what works, what doesn't work. So use those experiences to help navigate, but not repeat. Golden Palace is a card that says you're manifesting all good things. You're manifesting things that are supposed to be in your life. Deep Freeze, I feel like this is the phase that you're in right now. It's kind of that hibernation phase. It's that internal reflection. It's just spending time with yourself. Compass, trust your own heart. Trust your intuition. Let's pull one more. Let's see what it says. Balancing act. Balancing act, okay? So, navigating the new relationship, of course, new relationships, it's always about balance, but I feel like it's really just kind of indicating that you two will balance each other out well, and you don't have to worry about losing yourself because it's not going to happen. I don't feel like this person would allow you to lose yourself anyway. If they do see that that's even a pattern that's beginning, I think they're definitely one of those people to be like, hey, let's do something for you. What do you want to do? Or how are you? Like, I feel like they're going to be very good about checking in with you. So everything around it feels really good. There will be that number 10 connection, I feel. Like I said, it could be just the number 10. It could be the month of October. I don't quite know. But hold on to the number 10. And I see this person coming in for you in roughly about 6 months. So my fingers are crossed for you. I'm sending you lots of love. And thank you so much for letting me connect with you. I hope it makes sense as time goes on. All right, that was Misty. Okay, next is Patty. So Patty, if you're here, let me know. Patty, you wanted me to focus on your spouse. Okay. On your spouse. When I go to focus on your spouse, Patty, I don't know what exactly about your spouse it is that you want me to focus on, but what I keep seeing is that you're healing. I keep seeing like you're going through this period of healing. Hold on, let me see if I can make sense of this. I don't, if I'm interpreting this wrong, please tell me. I don't know if you're here or if you end up watching this in the replay, but I'm hesitant to say this because I don't want you to panic. But I also can't move past it. Has your spouse passed away? And if he hasn't, don't panic. Because I could be picking up on something very different. But when I connect to your energy and I ask your spirit guides to tell me about your or about your spouse and what I need to focus on, I see that you're healing, and I keep getting this strong feeling that your spouse is on the other side. If you're not here, which I haven't seen your comments yet, so I don't think that you are, I'm going to do my best to kind of navigate this. If your spouse is on the other side, just a reminder, I'm not doing mediumship readings with this offer. So I'm not connecting to any loved ones that we have on the other side. These are psychic readings only. So what I want to focus on is the healing, okay? What I want to focus on is what Spirit is showing me about your healing in regards to your spouse. And like I said, if they're not on the other side and I'm misinterpreting this, please don't panic. It doesn't mean they're going to pass away. Just kind of focus on the healing, okay? Because that's really what's coming in here. So what I'm getting is, I feel a lot of love between you and your spouse. I feel a really great connection. I feel a long-term connection as well. I don't know how old you are, Patty, but I definitely feel like this person has been in your life like pretty much your entire adult life. And I just feel, like I said, a lot of love there. Now, when it comes to your healing, if they are on the other side and this is healing from grief, or if there's something else that has happened and this is how the healing makes sense. Either way, like I said, not sure. And without you being here, I'm just going to try to navigate it to the best that I can. But I feel like what Spirit is encouraging you to do is to remember that, and I know this may sound a little cheesy, but to remember that love always wins. Okay, it doesn't matter how hard things get, the love will always transcend whatever is currently going on in the physical world. Okay, but what your spirit guides are showing me is that they want to encourage you to really focus on that internal love that you also have for yourself. Okay, remember that it's okay to be hurt. It's okay to have feelings of grief or sadness and anger and all of those things, but we want to make sure we're not trying to get stuck there, that we're acknowledging these things as they come about and we're taking the time to sit with them. But then we're also reminding ourselves, my love goes beyond the physical. All of the experiences that I have had have led me to where I am today. Excuse me, reminding yourself of all the good things, all the happy times, and that even though this may be a difficult phase that you're in right now, it is temporary. And I know it may not seem that way, but this phase, this feeling that you're currently having is temporary, and that healing, oh, my voice, that healing is very much of something that your guides want to encourage you to focus on, okay? And they're throwing cards. Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis, that's you're going through the change. You're going through a lot of change in your life right now. But metamorphosis, think about it in the terms of a caterpillar, a butterfly, okay? As you're hurting, you are this caterpillar. But as you go through the process of healing, as you go through those emotions, like you're in the cocoon. And then when you emerge from that cocoon, you are this beautiful butterfly. You are this healed version of yourself, okay? You're able to find the joy, the beauty, all the good in life. Rock bottom is a card that says it doesn't get much worse than this, okay? It's not going to get any harder. It's only up from here. You have to make a choice, though. You have to make a choice when it comes to your healing. Remember, you may not have been in control of whatever it is that happened in and around with your spouse, but you are in control of how you navigate from this situation. Okay. How do you want to navigate this situation? That is up to you. And I feel like, again, that's about your healing. How do you want to navigate your healing? Are you going to navigate your healing? Are you going to try to find the positives and the gratitude in it all? Moonlight is a card that says, please listen to your intuition. It's also a card that says, when we do have loved ones on the other side, which I don't know for sure if that's what's going on with your spouse or not, but the Moonlight card says, you know, Spirit is always working with you. They're always communicating through little subtle ways. So listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. If you see something, feel something, and you just think of your loved ones on the other side, know that that is because they're with you in those exact moments. Storm fields, things are hard. That's exactly what that means. Things are hard right now. And I want to pull one more card. Magic prayer. Pray for the abundance, pray for the healing, pray for the love, and just know that those things are all going to show up for you in the way that they need to serve your highest good. Okay, so when it comes to your spouse, like I said, I don't know all the details around it. Just focusing on your spouse, that's kind of what they took me to. I hope that it makes sense. If you do watch this in the replay, comment, let me know. But everything around your energy is about your healing. So you're going to be okay. I think the next, I'm really getting like 4 to 6 months feel like they're going to be very heavy for you. But after about 6 months, I see that things start to feel a little bit lighter again. I see that you're able to find a bit more joy. I also keep feeling like in about 6 months or so, there may be a cruise that you end up going on. I know that doesn't mean anything as far as like what we were just talking about, but it's standing out. So if a cruise presents itself, or the opportunity for one presents itself in about 6 months, I would very much encourage you to take it. So I hope that that makes sense. I'm sending you lots of love, and I want to thank you for letting me connect with you. And I'm going to pick up these cards that fell out real quick. I was like, goodness. Okay, there they are. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Thank you, Patty. Okay. So next is Sarah. So Sarah, if you're here, let me know. Sarah, you said future. Okay. So we'll just do a general pull on your future. Okay. Okay, so Sarah, there's a couple things coming in. There you are. Hi. So there's a couple things coming in. I don't know if they go together or if they're just random pieces of information. But first, who is the younger boy or young man in your life where it would make sense that I keep seeing like graduation? Does that mean anything? I don't know. That's just one of the first things that's popping in. So I didn't get any details around it. I just saw it. So I'll just give it to you. Let me see. And I also keep getting this feeling like you're in this transitional phase where it's like we're letting go of a version of our life that we became very comfortable with, and we're sort of moving into what comes next. Does that make sense? You're not sure about the young man. Me either. That's okay. Don't overthink it. It might just be a random thing that's popping in there. Or it could make sense as time goes on. I don't know. There were no details around it. It was just that. But they're making me feel like you're going into this transition of life, right? Where you're letting go of kind of this version of life that you once had, and now we're sort of slowly transitioning into something different. And it feels like this is what's supposed to come next, and so that's a good thing. But it does feel like with whatever these changes are that you have going on right now, in a way, there is a sense of grief about what once was. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean that you're not excited about your future. It doesn't mean that you're not excited about what's coming up, but there is also like this sense of, oh, well, I need to honor my feelings here because I am also kind of sad that this will no longer be, or that I am moving away from this aspect. Does that make sense? whatever this transition, however this continues to play out, I will say be patient with yourself, because I keep seeing like a fluctuation of energy and emotions for roughly the next like 2 to 3 months. I really just kind of see lots of ups and downs. Also right now, have you been dealing with a lot of anxiety? Because I'm feeling that very strongly sort of in your energy field. I feel like it's been present for a while. But right now it sort of feels intense. Like there's a lot of overthinking, um, maybe a lot of restless nights, because I also keep feeling like you're not sleeping, or you're not going into that deep REM cycle sleeping. So just kind of like that restlessness is what I'm feeling. Said yes. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Uh, Sarah, I don't know what you do for work. But when it comes to your career, your job, or whatever it is that you're doing, what I keep being shown is like there's growth, but it feels like it's growth that you have had to ask for. But I keep hearing ask twice, because the first time you ask, you're not going to get it, but the second time you will. I don't know if that's about a raise, a promotion, a change, a new job opportunity. I don't know, but I just keep hearing you have to ask. Sorry, you have to ask for it, but you have to ask twice. You won't get it the first time, but you'll get it the second time. Okay. You teach special needs students. Okay. Would you have you recently asked for something, or have you been thinking about asking? Because I just keep hearing that very clearly. You won't get it the first time, but you'll get it the second time. So ask 2 times. I also keep hearing, that the beginning of August, I know it sounds like a little ways away, but the beginning of August next year is really going to throw you for a loop. Go with the flow, because whatever this is that comes up for you in August, it is going to throw you for a loop, and it may not necessarily be easy in the moment, but it is something that's taking you to something that's going to serve you really well, something that's going to end up bringing you a lot of joy. But I feel like it's going to come about in a very abrupt way, and I do feel it's connected to work somehow. But I feel like it's going to come about in a very abrupt way, to where you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like what is happening? I can't do this. But if you're just able to kind of go with the flow, things are going to be okay. Okay. I definitely see it moving and taking you exactly where you're supposed to be. You moved to a new teacher. Okay. Okay. Let me see. I also feel like your focus is going to really, or I'm sorry, your attention is very much going to be focused on your physical health quite a bit next year. I feel like it starts off early in the year. Okay. I feel like it starts off early in the year. But I feel like you kind of maintain it. I really do see almost like a lifestyle change. I don't know if that's with diet, exercise, or something different, but it's very much of like your physical health is what I'm seeing. A plane is loud. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But I do see that for you next year, and I feel all good things around that. I feel like you'll be very successful with that. I see you just feeling better physically, emotionally, spiritually, being more energized, feeling more confident in your own skin. And there really is like this light that I just keep seeing shining from you. Let me see. This is super random too. This does not have anything to do with what I just talked about. But I do feel like there's going to be an opportunity next year, around March. Yes, around March, where I keep seeing you getting a pet. I don't know what kind, but I keep seeing pet and March. So I'll just give that to you. Okay. Wow. Okay. Hold on one second. Let's put these cards here. All right. So we have okay. All right. So the cards that came out, first one, every hurricane comes to an end. This is a card that is really just saying any hardship you've endured this year is coming to an end, okay? Because next year, everything feels really good. I'm not saying it'll be the perfect year, of course. Life is life. But the hardships that you've been enduring this year, those things are coming to an end, okay? Focus on the here and now. So let's not get too stuck in the past, too stuck in the present, or too stuck in the future. I mean, let's really try to focus on the present moment. Your potential is endless, very much of a self-worth card. And then slow down and celebrate yourself. Again, a self-worth card. So I do think that and that's where I'm really getting drawn to your physical health, okay? I think you're going to be just honoring yourself a lot more next year. Any more kids in your future? Do you currently have 2 children? Or have you been pregnant 2 times? I see the number 2 around you. I do think there's an opportunity for another child. I don't see them coming this year or next, but 2023, perhaps. January, February timeline as far as I think conception is what I'm getting. But I don't think it's going to be this one. Yes to the 2? Okay. I don't think it's going to be this January. I think it's going to be next January where we find out about another one. So I definitely do see that for you. You have 2 boys. Okay. I do have to say, I do feel like the next one may also be a boy. I don't know if that's what you're hoping for or not. But I see you surrounded with boy energy. So that's what I'm getting. I hope it makes sense. I'm sending you lots of love. I think this next year will be all about you. So I'm excited for that. Just empowering yourself in all ways, mind, body, and soul. So thank you so much, Sarah. Okay, good. Okay, so Shelly, let me know if you're here. Shelly, you didn't send me a question. So I'll give it just a second to see if you comment and let me know if you're here. And if you are, let me know what you want me to focus on. If I don't hear from you, then we'll just do a general reading. So we're going to do Shelly, Tiffany, Trisha, and then Whitney. And then we are done for the night. So we have 4 more. You're welcome, Sarah. Okay. Give it just a second because I know there's always the delay in the comments. Oh, there you are. Okay. I'm here. I'm currently taking care of a sick family member. I also have my own health issues that I keep ignoring. How do I start to address my health issues? Will everything improve for both of us? Okay. Shelly, do you deal with a lot of stomach issues? I feel a lot of that with you. Okay. Also, would you understand how the liver makes sense or why I keep hearing enzymes? I just keep hearing the word over and over, enzymes. I don't know why. I'm no doctor. I don't know. Sometimes with medical things, it just random things trickle in. So I keep hearing that, but I am drawn to your stomach. And then I just keep hearing enzymes. I don't know what that means. If you don't know what that means either, that's okay. Don't overthink it. Okay, so yes, okay. So as far as taking care of your own health, the first thing that's really standing out to me is I see you getting a new doctor. So I'm assuming the doctor you have right now, and you'll probably be able to understand this. I feel like the doctor you have right now is not listening, or they're not available in the way you need them to. Does that, and they're either not listening or they're not available in the way you need them to be. Does that make sense? And I just kind of feel like with the doctor you currently have, you're just kind of another number, another patient, but I see you getting a new doctor, and I see that really leading to a lot of opportunity for you to start to take control of your health again. And I don't see it's going to be anything where um, a ton of intervention is needed. I think it's more, I keep hearing consistency. So what'll likely happen is you and your doctor will figure something out, and they'll be working with you to make sure that this stays consistent. And that's where we're going to start to see some changes. Okay. But I see you finding a new doctor around March. And I definitely see that beginning to improve your health, and you just start to have like this overall sense of feeling better. But just know that of course is going to start with you taking that initiative. Okay, you taking that first step and finding the doctor, following up with the doctor and doing that. But I do see that once you have that doctor, you're really able to kind of create a very healthy unit, a very healthy team, where you two are really just working together, communicating very well to figure out what is needed and the best way to support you. But I see that happening for you around March, like early March. Also, just keep the number 11 in mind. It's connected to March, so maybe March 11th will be something significant. But I do. As soon as I said March, Spirit showed me the number 11, so just hold on to that. As far as things improving, I do see things improving. The person that you're caring for, does the person that you're caring for struggle with diabetes? Or would you understand why I keep seeing like a sugar or insulin spike? Does that make any sense to you? But I'm also feeling like this achiness in my legs with them too. So I don't know if they struggle with mobility, or if they're having leg issues, but it's just kind of like the legs feel heavy. You said, my doc is a general practitioner and I love her. Wait, the comment went away. Where'd it go? Maybe it's outside of her area. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. So, definitely maybe ask for a referral to see maybe a GI doctor or something like that. Okay. But yeah, I'm definitely focused on the stomach. So the person that you're caring for, I do see things, how do I put this? I do see things sort of improving for them, but I don't see them really taking the initiative to care for themselves in the way that you're going to take the initiative to care for yourself. Does that make sense? So I think we're going to see some improvement with them, but I don't think we're going to see it in the way that we could if they really chose to jump in with both feet and make the necessary changes. Okay. But I do see things for them improving, and I don't know if they're living with you or you're just taking care of them, but I do feel like there's some sort of move that will be connected to them. I keep getting the month of November. I can't tell if it's this past November or if it's future November though. So if they didn't just move in November, they may be moving in the coming November. But I do see them kind of staying with somebody to care for them. But I do see things improving better than they are now, if that makes sense. And with your health, I do see things improving. I think that the stomach issues may always be somewhat present, but I don't think they're going to be consistent, if that makes sense. I think they're definitely going to ease up. I think they're going to be much less consistent. And I do feel like an overall just better feeling for you. And I keep getting taken to about 7 months. 7 months from now, I think that you're going to feel a lot better than you are today, and feeling like you have more of a handle on your health. So let's pull some cards here. First card is share your voice. I think that's very much of speaking up when it comes to your doctors, just really letting them know what's going on, how you're feeling, not holding anything back, even being your own biggest advocate. If you have to fight for something, if you have to fight for a test, if you have to fight for them to do something, be that voice, okay? What is not aligned or needs to change? So this is very much of a card that is saying, remove anything in your life that isn't serving you well. And I think that this has a lot to do with your own physical health, okay? So if there's anything in your life that's causing you extra stress, procrastination, hesitation, doubt, putting yourself on the back burner, all those things, and those are things that we want to remove. Do something to change your energy. So if you want to see different results, if you want to start to feel better, you got to do something different than what you're currently doing. What are you clinging on to? So why are you doubting? Why are you putting yourself on the back burner? You know, what is it that's causing you to hesitate the way that you are? Is there a fear that's present? What is it? Don't take life too seriously. Have fun. And then let's pull one more card for you. Take a break. Take a break. So I think this is, you know, maybe your stomach issues are connected to stress. Maybe. And as you sort of take a break, as you start to make yourself more of a priority, you notice that those things or those issues start to change. So that's what I'm getting. I think you're going to see a big improvement with your own health come about 7 months, a new doctor around March. The person you're caring for, I do see some sort of move connected to November. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's this past November or future November, but I do see a move. But I see them remaining with some form of caretaker. I do see them feeling better than they currently are, but not 100%. Okay. So that's what I'm getting. I hope it makes sense. I hope it'll continue to make sense as time goes on. I'm sending you both lots of well wishes. I hope for the best health possible for both of you. But I would definitely start, you know, maybe just start by talking to your doctor, ask for a referral, and just kind of take it from there. So I hope that that makes sense. Thank you so much. Okay, so next is Tiffany. So Tiffany Kelly, let me know if you're here and you wanted to focus on marriage. Okay, we're gonna light a little bit more sage here real quick. There we go. Okay. Here's Tiffany. Hi. Okay. All right. So Tiffany, Shelly, you're welcome. Tiffany, as I sit with your marriage, I feel the first thing that's really standing out to me is I keep feeling like there's a division between you and your partner. I don't feel like you guys are separated, but I feel like there is something going on within your life or within the marriage where you're handling it very differently, or you look at it very differently. For some reason, I keep getting drawn to your children. Maybe it's something to do with your children or one of your children. But I feel like, I just feel like there's some headbutting going on there. And it's the way that it's coming out for me is it kind of feels like a lack of support, not feeling supported, or not feeling like one or the other is supporting the family in the way that it needs to be. Does that make any sense to you? I feel like you and your husband are very good together. I feel like you've been together for a long time. I feel like overall things are very healthy, but it does feel like there is a bit of just a distance right now. So you may be seeing that if there's like a lack of communication, you know, you're not really making priority time for one another, kind of more so, maybe more so just kind of feeling like roommates at the moment. Does that make sense? You said yes. Yeah, it just kind of feels like that feeling. Like the love is there 100%. But there's definitely this weird distance sort of feeling right now, okay? I keep seeing a third party intervene, and when I see this, it typically means that we are going to end, I say we, it typically means that you are going to end up doing some sort of counseling, marriage counseling, something like that. That's usually what it means when I see that third party intervening, because it does feel like, it just feels like you're trying to communicate, he's trying to communicate, but it is not getting through to the other person. And that's likely because maybe you communicate two very different ways, or you're just on total different ends of the spectrum right now with whatever this is that's going on. But I do feel like you will work with a third party, likely a therapist, to try to communicate better. Okay. Is he very stubborn? Because, oh boy, there's a lot of stubborn energy around him. You feel stubborn too, but he feels very, very stubborn in the sense of, if he's made his mind up about something, it's very difficult to get him to change it. Does that make sense? And the way this is coming in is I feel like it's best to just kind of let things lie. Oh, hiccups. I feel like it's best to just kind of let things lie instead of continuously trying to poke at it, trying to start that conversation, because it's not going to happen right now. It's not going to happen in a productive way anyway. So it really feels like it's best for you both to just kind of keep doing what you're doing, but I would very much consider that third party, that therapist or marriage counselor or someone, okay? Because I do feel like that'll be a really great turning point for the two of you and for whatever this is that's going on. Did you guys just take a trip, or are you taking a trip? Because I keep seeing a trip. No, I don't think you just took one. I think you're taking one. It doesn't feel like anything anywhere super far, but I do see a trip. They keep showing me a car, so I don't know if maybe it's going to be a road trip or something. But either way, I keep seeing a trip. And I do feel like things may there may be a moment during that trip where things kind of come to a head. It doesn't feel like right then and there will be the time for any decision making or any type of real problem solving. I don't think that that's going to work. Again, I just keep feeling like it's best to just, okay, we'll deal with this when we deal with this. And I feel like that's coming up really soon. Okay, so I don't know if it'll be a weekend trip or you guys already have something planned, or if it'll be like a spur of the moment, hey, let's go here. But I just keep seeing a car, so I'm thinking probably a little road trip or something. But I do feel like there will be an opportunity for counseling if you choose, right? It's a free will thing. But if you both choose to open up for that, I do see, I keep getting like 5 to 6 weeks where you get in to see somebody. The first half of next year may be, the first half of what? Wasn't planning a trip, but yeah, but maybe go. We'll see if something shows up, okay, if an opportunity presents itself. But I feel like the first half of next year, I just keep feeling emotions will be tense. But it does feel like around summer, early summer, I kind of see that it's almost like, okay, okay. And it kind of feels, I don't want to say this feeling of defeat for him, but it's like this feeling of, okay, obviously, whatever this is that's going on isn't changing. It's kind of like this eye-opening moment for him where he finally realizes, me acting the way that I am is not going to change anything here. So it's either I get on board or I don't. You know, it kind of feels like one of those moments, but it's going to take him a little while to get there. Let me pull some cards here. Okay. So these cards, first one, let's talk about this one, is do it for you. Okay. I think this card is very much symbolizing whatever is going on in life right now, whatever this obstacle is. Keep focusing on your own self-worth. Keep focusing on why this is important to you. and make decisions for you. Okay. I know we want to focus on the marriage and try to fix things or mend things or bring us back together, you know, whatever's going on. But right now, it really feels like I said, like you're just kind of poking at a dead horse, just because of that stubborn energy. Like I feel like you can coexist just fine, but you may not have that emotional connection that you're looking for or that support that you're wanting right now. It'll come in time. I definitely feel that. But I think it's going to take a little while. And right now, it really does feel like right now, your focus should be on you, why you feel the way you do, or what you need, and trying to find that within yourself. How can I, if I'm feeling like I need support, how can I support myself? If I'm feeling like I need, you know, attention, how can I give myself attention? Like instead of asking him to provide those things right now, just try to find them within yourself. Expectations, it says, don't seek out anyone else's approval. So again, it's just kind of confirming, let's do things for you right now. You have weave together the crown you deserve. When I saw this, I instantly thought of your two children. So I don't know if maybe this is something to where you finding your self-worth or you standing up for yourself is going to kind of empower your kids to do the same. But that's not exactly what that card means, but when I saw it, that's immediately what came intuitively. So I'll give that to you. Don't doubt your self-worth, and it's a time for healing, not war. So again, I think right now it's, let's focus on you. I know you want to mend the marriage or whatever's going on there, but I think things are going to be okay. It's just going to take a little bit of time right now. It feels like with your marriage, it's a time of transition, and there's both individual growth that's happening. So we have to focus on your individual growth before you can come together to grow together. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm getting. So just kind of play it out, take it one day at a time, but I think things are going to be okay. And like I said, I feel around early summer, he'll finally kind of have that eye-opening moment, and that's when the growth together will really start to show itself. So my fingers are crossed for you. I'm sending you guys lots of love. Be patient with yourselves, but you two have a good thing. I definitely feel that. I feel like you two have a good thing. It's just kind of a bumpy patch. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Next is Trisha. Oh, Trisha, let me know if you're here because you said my past loved ones. So again, not doing mediumship with this reading. So if you're here, let me know. And if there's something you want to focus on, let me know. Oh wait, there you are. The questions disappear so quick on my phone. I didn't give the correct question, but mine is spiritual guidance and family. Okay. Spiritual guidance. You're welcome, Kelly. Okay, Trisha. Spiritual guidance and family. Okay, so with spiritual guidance, you feel very intuitive. And I don't know if you were raised religious, but I feel as though the past couple years, there has definitely been a bit of a breakdown with what you've been taught about religion or spirituality versus what you're coming to believe on your own. Does that make sense? And I feel like that's even more present right now. I feel like there has been, I keep feeling like something has recently spiked your interest when it comes to spirituality. Also, have your dreams been very vivid? Because something keeps pointing out your dreams to me. I don't feel like you always dream, or you don't always remember your dreams. But I feel like here recently, even if you're not remembering the details of your dream, there's when you wake up, there's like an emotion attached. Does that make sense? You may actually be unintentionally astral projecting in your sleep, which is where our soul leaves our body and goes on to do who knows what it wants to do. But I feel like you're doing that right now. Not every night, but pretty frequently. I rarely remember them, but they are vivid when I do. Yeah. If you are interested in that sort of thing, that is definitely something that you can grow and you can learn about. You have before. Yeah, you're doing that unintentionally, but you're doing that. If that's something you want to get better with and understand more, do some meditating. Do some research on it, because it is something where you can slowly start to do it intentionally instead of it just randomly happening when it happens. Um, okay. Does the number 42 mean anything to you? I don't know how old you are, but I do keep seeing the number 42, and I just feel like 42, when I see the number 42, they keep showing me a year of transition. So I don't know if you've already been 42, if you are 42, if 42 is coming up for you, I don't know. But the year of 42 feels like a year of transition is what I keep seeing. Um, especially in and around your spiritual growth. Okay. And what's interesting to me is as you grow spiritually, as you begin to kind of just fall more into your most authentic self, your family, you're going to notice changes in your family too. I feel like the people who are kind of closed off to it or the last people that you would ever expect to talk about this sort of thing will start coming to you with questions. It might be subtle questions, maybe something like, how do you meditate? Or what do you think about this? Like, it'll be subtle. I don't think they're going to come to you and be like, this and this and this. I think it's going to be subtle, but it's going to be one of those things where you're noticing the people who you thought were completely closed off to this sort of thing. They ask you these questions where you can be like, their wheels are turning. Something's going on within them. Don't push it. Okay. Answer the question and then just leave it at that. Don't push it. Let them come to you as they're ready. But I do see you sort of being a little bit of like a kind of like a spiritual advisor for a lot of the people in your circle. You said that was actually around the age I started to change with my beliefs. Yeah. Okay. So that was very much of a transitional age for you. So just know that I think was really the year for you that started propelling where you're moving into now. Okay. Okay. They keep showing me that you are going to do, I'm seeing furthering your education, but I'm being taken to spirituality. So, but they keep showing me there's going to be some sort of furthering your education um, mid-January. Okay. So maybe that is, I don't know, maybe you'll decide to take a workshop. Maybe you'll decide to do some sort of mentorship. Maybe you'll decide to just kind of learn about things on your own. I don't know how it's going to manifest, but I do see you kind of taking that initiative to be like, okay, I'm going to further my education and try to learn more about what I'm experiencing or what I want to experience, and I feel like that's coming in for you soon, like mid-January. So however that's going to present itself, if something does present itself and it catches your interest, allow yourself to explore it, okay? Because it feels like it's another step in the right direction. But as your vibration rises, your family's vibration is rising too. And it's going to rise at different speeds and in different ways. So again, I just keep feeling like you are very much going to kind of be that advisor, kind of that person that everyone comes to and says, what do you think? What's your experience with this? Or, hey, someone came across this. Do you have any thoughts on it? Like, you're going to be that person. So, okay. And what's interesting is Spirit keeps showing me that is these people are coming to you with their questions. And in a roundabout way, it's also going to help you with your own growth and your own healing. So the easiest way for me to kind of explain that is a lot of times when I do readings, if I notice that I have a day or a week where there's a pattern to my readings, there's one thing keeps coming up in all the readings, I know that that's coming up because that is also something I need to deal with within myself. So I feel something similar with you is you're going to notice all these questions that you're being asked by your family and your friends. In a roundabout way, they're going to kind of reflect on the same thing. And whatever that thing is something you need to be acknowledging or looking at within yourself. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. Let me see. No, Spirit's like, it's not that one. It's this one. Okay. What is your soul calling you to do is your first card. That's that acknowledgement of that deeper soul self. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. So when it comes to your spirituality, just really trust yourself. And with all things in life, right? Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Don't trust your ego. Trust your intuition. Where are you being called to journey to? Again, what is your soul calling you to do? What is sticking out? What have you been very drawn to? What have you been interested in recently? What lights you up? Okay, so if you haven't seen a theme here, so far all of your cards are asking you to go within. All of them. Tune into the inner portal of your heart. You need to do some serious self-reflection right now. You need to go within, ask yourself what you want, ask yourself what you're interested in, ask yourself what's important to you, and then allow yourself to explore those aspects of your life, okay? But yeah, I think you are very much going through an awakening, a shift, and I think that part of that, a large part of that is for you and your own benefit and tapping more into your most authentic self, so that you can see all aspects of life with a bit more clarity, because you'll learn how to listen to yourself better. You'll learn how to trust yourself better, but also because you are becoming that person for the people in your circle, your friends, your family. You're kind of leveling up is what I'm getting. So that's what I'm getting. I hope that that makes sense. I think that the beginning of, or the middle of January, whatever that brings in, will be really good for you, which will lead to a lot of other opportunities. And you're another one where I see a trip, but I don't see it until next fall. I'm kind of taking to September, but I feel like it may end up being like a spiritual trip. But a lot of good things around it. So I hope that that makes sense. I'm very excited for you. And of course, if you ever have questions about any of that, reach out. It's always my favorite topic to talk about. Okay, good. All right, next is, or last but certainly not least, is Whitney. So Whitney Harden, let me know if you're here. But you said anything that Spirit wants me to know. Okay. All right, Whitney. You're welcome, Trisha. Okay, so Whitney, I'm not doing mediumship. However, I do feel what Spirit is showing me